All the goals, all the news.
This is Open All Mics from Sports Sound.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
Welcome to Open All Mics on BBC Radio Scotland. As I said, a really busy day ahead. 11 fourth round ties kick off at 3 o'clock in the Scottish Cup. Of course, the action kicked off last night. We brought you that game live on BBC Scotland. Brecon City, they went ahead. What a goal that was, but they lost out by 4 goals to 1 at home to Hearts. As I said, 11 games kick off at 3 o'clock, 5:30 Celtic at home to Kilmarnock. 2 games tomorrow, Falkirk Raith Rovers, Rangers against Fraserburgh, and on Monday evening, what a game to round things off, Dundee against Dundee United. Let's get to Easter. All the games today are having a minute's applause in respect of the Scottish great Denis Law.
Scoring 30 goals. He's best known for his legendary career with Manchester United and for being the only Scottish winner of the Ballon d'Or. The minute's applause will start and end on the sound of the referee whistle. Rest in peace, Denis Law.
Yes, Scottish football paying its respects there to a national treasure, Denis Law, who passed away yesterday at the age of 84. We are focusing this afternoon on the 4th round of the Scottish Cup, all 11 games covered on Open All Mics. Let's get to Palmerston, let's get down to Queen of the South. They are at home to St Mirren. There's a big travelling support down there this afternoon. Cammy Bell is there for us. What's happening in the early stages, Cammy? Slight problem with that line there at Palmerston. Let's continue then going around the grounds. You're underway in Dingwall, John Robertson. We're all predicting a fairly tight affair there.
Yeah, we're off and running, and it's been, well, Livy, and say that County hitting the break there. Livingston nearly had a chance in the first 5 seconds there. The ball was glad the Calvin slipped, and Stevie May almost robbed them. The Ross County defender managed to clear it, then they've launched a big throw from Robbie Murray right at the box. County had trouble clearing away, but they're now up the park, but it's 0-0.
Thank you to John Robertson there. That does look a top on the call, Rory, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Livingston, Ross County Livingston, you're still in your head. You think of it as a Premiership tie. So, listen, it'll be pretty close. I'm getting a lot of heat off Leanne and Tom for predicting Broxburn may sneak it against Ayr United. They asked me why do you think that happened? Well, it's, this time last year, you wouldn't have thought that Bonnyrigg Rose would beat Falkirk, who were unbeaten at the time. You wouldn't have thought Partick Thistle would take 3 off Ross County and Dingwall. Airdrie beat St Johnstone. So I think there's potential for some upsets today. And I know he doesn't like a cliche, but I think the drama, passion and romance of the Scottish Cup will take Tom over. And at 100 to 1, I think by 5 o'clock today, Tom will have praised the standard of Scottish football.
You may look very clever at this, but I don't know how you can take results from last year and apply them to this year and say that's why there might be an upset.
Well, because there's upsets every year in the football.
Right, who's coming in there?
It's check. It's looking on the Broxburn game. I have to get a wee put the brakes on Rory's forecast, because the game has been held up onto the volume of traffic apparently outside the ground. The teams are actually at this moment just coming on to the park. We'll miss that applause, though I presume they will gather round the centre circle for a minute's pause to salute the great Denis, and that's exactly, I think, what is going to happen. So we'll be a fair bit behind the rest of the games, Kenny, as I say, gathering round the centre circle now. Broxburn and Ayr United for the minute's applause to honour the King.
Yeah, Rory's expecting a belter. Let's now get to Cammy Bell down at Palmerston. Cooney the South at home to St Mirren. What's happening in the early stages, Cammy?
Yeah, Kenny, no, there's not a lot been happening. Queen's had a little threatening in behind. It's Dickinson, he's a big boy and he likes to run the channels as well, Kenny, so he threatened early on. But yeah, the game's just settling in. Both teams are trying to find each other out, but I'm pretty sure Stephen Robinson will want his team to start well, because we know they've had that 4 games where they've been beat recently over the Christmas period, so he'll be looking for a reaction today.
Thank you to Cammy Bell down there at Palmerston. Let's get to the game at McDermott Park. Alan Preston is there for us. Alan, we're talking about the magic of the Cup and how there's definitely a real buzz on Cup Day, and I believe there's a huge travelling support up there this afternoon.
There is really big support, but unfortunately the Flares were here as well and we couldn't see for a while. But a really big Motherwell crowd, got the drum out as well. St Johnstone over the far side. They've got to try St Johnstone and stay in the Cup if they can. They play, this is the same fixture next Saturday up here again in the league. I believe some of the guys in the studio saying that it could be all over for St Johnstone in the league. It's going to be very, very...
Yeah, goal.
Yeah, it's a goal at Easter Road, and it's came from the home side. It's only taken a matter of minutes for Hibs to make the breakthrough. Not even 2 minutes from the clock, Kenny. And I think Clydebank will be hugely disappointed. It's just a long ball down the pitch from Jack Iredale. And Adam Hodge gets himself caught in all sorts of trouble. He goes to head the ball back to his goalkeeper, misses the ball completely. Junior Hoylett takes the ball off, goes to the byline, fizzles it across, and the man of the moment, Martin Boyle, his 5th goal in his last 3 games, taps it into the back of the net. The romance of the Cup may be dead after 2 minutes. It's 1, Clydebank 0.
You never know, you never know. It's amazing how Martin Boyle's just bounced back to form, isn't it? Because he was absolutely toiling along with the rest of the team, but he's looking really good again. Great
spring in his step, isn't he? Look, confidence is oozing out of the guy. You can even tell by the way he's running back after scoring that goal that he's on his toes. He's loving life at the moment.
Alan, go back to your game there. Where does the blame lie for you in terms of the league position that St Johnstone find themselves in?
I think it's got to be spread amongst quite a number of people, to be honest. I think the current manager has to take some of the credit as well. Previous manager and Craig, unfortunately. Although Craig kept him up last year, and I'm sure they'd have great beliefs in keeping up again this year. So I think it's not just at one individual. I think it's collective, and I also think the players. I think the players have to do more as well. Having watched them, they're simply not good enough, I'm afraid.
How important, Leanne, is this for St Johnstone today? I'm just thinking in terms of confidence, trying to get some momentum, some belief in among that squad.
To a point, it's important. I think every game's important. You don't want to get turned over. You want to progress in the Cup as much as you possibly can. But I think the realism is that for St Johnstone it's going to be about surviving and trying to keep your Premiership status. So I think if we can, today maybe is a good one, just the fact that you're keeping that consistency going up against a Premiership side. You're not really being able to take your foot off the gas. So you hope then next week when you bounce back, you get back into league duties, then you've been tested and you've had to come up with answers today, as opposed to coming up against perhaps a lesser opposition. You might be tempted to rotate the squad and look to try and keep players fresh. I don't think they can be afforded to do that. But look, the guys have touched on all the flaws at St Johnstone now. The balance has been way off. I think you've got to at least give yourself a foundation.
Got a goal.
Here we go.
Yep. Goal.
Yeah, we've got a goal. Sorry, Airdrie. It's a ball. I tell you what, the battle defensively, just standing there, and it's McGrattan. He just runs straight through the middle. Goalkeeper, he's in 2 minds. The boy that's come in and loaned from Falkirk, and it's just a simple little lob over the keeper into the back of the net. Nothing between the sides early doors, but I tell you what, it's woeful defending. But Airdrie in the lead.
And they're desperately needed something here, aren't they?
It's very early on in all the games, but Elgin are all over Aberdeen in the opening 5 minutes. It's a huge chance, Leanne.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if that line's working. Lee McLeod and Willie Miller are there for us this afternoon. Guys, is everything working okay there? Can you bring us an update? No, that line's going to be on and off all afternoon, but as Rory said, we've got the pictures here in the studio. You just feel it could be a nervy afternoon for Aberdeen. If Elgin City get the first goal there today, it's going to be really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And Elgin have started well. You'd almost expect that to come flying out the traps. You would imagine that Aberdeen's quality will tell, because they do possess far superior quality than Elgin. I don't think it's disrespectful to say that, but they did miss a good opportunity at the back post, a right foot effort by the post, but since then they've had a free kick from the wide area, they've had a corner, and Aberdeen are struggling with the pitch. It looks quite bobbly, giving it away a few times in their own half.
Right, fingers crossed. Liam McLeod, Willie Miller, you guys there?
I'm having a nightmare.
Sorry, we thought they were back.
Our coverage of Aberdeen today is like Aberdeen.
Yeah, very unpredictable that is.
There's an early change at Palmerston here.
Yes.
It's Alex Zakaviti. Looks like he's pulled his hamstring. Looks quite a bad one. New straight away, sat down, so he's coming off and he's going to be replaced by Richard Taylor.
Right, thanks to Cammy Bell down there at Palmerston. Let's then get to Hamilton Accies against Musselburgh Athletic there for us. Amy Canavan, what's happening, Amy?
It's been a really bright start for Musselburgh Athletic, to be honest with you, Kenny. I don't know if you guys are getting the pictures in, but within the first few seconds, really, Nathan Evans had a great ball across the face of goal. Accies have been really slow. They've not really got forward at all. Just as I say that, they are coming forward. But again, that's Bob Wilson at the back, knocking it away from Musselburgh. Liam Burns will be really, really pleased with the way that his side have started. Zach Can now just driving away down on that left-hand side. Has he managed to keep it in? Not quite, but it's been a really great start for Musselburgh Athletic.
Let's get to East End Park, a big day for Dunfermline supporters with news of that takeover there at home to Steny in the Cup. What's happening, Jane Lewis?
Yeah, Dunfermline certainly are the brighter of the two sides. They're looking pretty lively. Lewis McCann has had a couple of really decent chances, a couple of headers that have sailed, one over the bar and just wide as well. I tell you what, Richie Hostler on the right wing is causing all sorts of problems. He looks like he's got a bit of pace about him. He can put in a decent ball too.
Yes, Cammy Bell.
Yeah, listen, Kenny, it's just a lot.
Right, it's going to be one of these afternoons. We've got the pictures coming in here. We've got all the games going. It's quite tricky to watch them all. Did any of you guys get a look at that one?
I think it was Richard Taylor just come on the pitch.
Right, okay.
Kenny, just say
Kenny
it's a goal for St Mirren, just say it.
It's a goal for St Mirren, yes, it is a goal for St Mirren. We're just trying to see the pictures here.
It's Olasanya, maybe it's Olasanya, their talisman. As I said, physicality. I think it's a set piece yet. Ball comes in the box, he's at the back post. Defender sleeping for Queen of the South. It's a long throw actually. He's getting the replay. And Olasanya tucks it in at the back post. Terrible defending, I have to say.
Defender flicks it back to Olasanya.
Yeah. So yeah, that aspect of St Mirren's game is strong, and that's why I thought they may come out on top.
Yeah, Derek, you want to jump in there?
Kenny Nealon, yeah, it was Nealon equaliser for Dumbarton. Good reaction. It was Ryan Blair, shaped to shoot with his left, just chopping back onto his right. And I tell you what, it's nestling in that bottom right-hand corner. But I tell you what
for Queen's Park at Hampden.
Right.
St Johnstone.
Oh, I think it's Mackenzie Kirk. It's a corner flicked on it the near post. It's a good save initially by Archie Mayer. It comes back and from about a yard out. Mackenzie Kirk puts it into the back of the net. St Johnstone 1, Motherwell 0.
Yeah, that is Kirk. I'm just hoping that we get a replay on it. We have got multiple screens this afternoon in this studio.
Another chance as well. Sorry, Lance. Another chance here.
Right, okay, so wait a minute. Gully, you Hampden Park.
Yeah, Ken, it was a big chance. Yeah, Ken, sorry.
There's been a missed penalty here at Hampden. Jack Turner stepped up for Queen's Park. A fantastic save from Cameron Gill there. It's still currently 0-0, but a penalty been saved in the opening minutes.
Oh, again. Oh, dearie me.
This penalty
by the way, this game's so open. It's unbelievable. What a chance it was there for Benjamin Watson. An absolute sitter. But I tell you what, they need to sort that Dumbarton defence out. Certainly the two central defenders. Captain Durnan come back into the side. Looks all over the place at the moment. But it's just Benjamin Watson. He's just round about the penalty spot. He just needs to make a decent connection. Doesn't end us up. It's a decent save from the keeper. Tell you what, Kenny, I'm going to make a Chick Young statement. Yeah, right. There's going to be plenty of goals here this afternoon, so I'll probably end up 1-0 there.
I thought you were going to say you're going to be a Chick Young of it.
Do you know what? I think I should explain to our listeners.
I saw you play Chick. You were no bad. Wide and tricky was Chick Young.
He's a good player.
That wasn't just in the football part.
Yeah, well, do you know what? 11 games today, so we've got them all coming into the studios. We're trying to stay across them. There are obviously some delays on some of the lines, particularly Derek's line. That's why he's jumping in top here. That's not Derek's fault.
It's not very good, Kenny.
No, it's difficult. And also, as we can tell from the game at Palmerston, the game at Elgin City, some of the lines are dropping off, but we're doing our best to bring you all the goals and all the games coming in here.
Talking about Elgin City, that's Nielsen in the book for a rash tackle in the middle of the pitch, and I don't think I've seen Elgin's goalkeeper yet.
Kenny, it was a really good chance for Stenhousemuir just a minute ago. They had a free kick around about 20 yards outside of the area, so 20 yards outside from goal, I should say. And Matt Yates, who's no stranger to scoring goals this season, just curled in a free kick. The keeper was made to work to try and keep it out. I don't think he got a touch to it at the end, and it just fell wide off the post. But it was a good effort from Stenny.
Yeah, thank you to Jane Lewis.
Kenny, we've got another goal.
Yeah, take it away.
Kenny, we've got a goal. Yeah, it's a second goal for Airdrie. You could sense it was coming. Let me have a little look. Yeah, it's number 80. It's Gavin Gallagher. They took a short corner kick away over on the left-hand side. Dumbarton so slow to react, and Gallagher just makes his way into the box. Simple as it. Hard and low, pass the keeper down to the right-hand side. 2-0.
Thanks to Derek Ferguson. There are some league games on as well today. In League 2, Peterhead 1, Stirling Albion 0, Max Barry in 10 minutes. Alan Preston.
Victor Griffiths could have scored on his debut. He was the one that had the flick header at the post for the goal, but he's got a chance here right in the middle of the goals, clean through. Good save by Archie Mayer in the goals. This could have been 2-0 to St Johnstone, but as it is, 12 minutes in, it's St Johnstone 1, Motherwell 0.
Right, let's try and get back to Elgin against Aberdeen. Liam McLeod and Willie Miller, are you hearing us loud and clear?
Kenny, we're hearing you fine. Yeah, are you hearing us?
Got you now.
Are you hearing me?
Got you now.
You got me now, yeah. Yeah, it's been a struggle. It's been reported from the studio there. It's been a struggle for Aberdeen to make any impact on Elgin. Elgin are really controlling it, had the better opportunities. Really early one from Lewis Hyde. Probably the best effort that went flying past the near post. So it's been a case of Elgin really closing Aberdeen down. Aberdeen losing a bit of direction. They're trying to build it up slowly. They're not being allowed to do that. They've been wasteful with their passes as well. And it's all been about the home side. So the home side really have pinned Aberdeen back in their half. And as it was reported there, you know, Nielsen in his frustration actually gets booked for a handball as he goes to ground when he didn't really need to do that. But at the same time, it's an uphill struggle just now for the away side, and certainly Elgin looking really prominent and causing all sorts of problems and having 2 or 3 good opportunities.
I would say as well, Willie, that I would argue that they've started the game worse here than they did in East Ayrshire 2 years ago.
Oh my goodness!
When they were beaten in what's the biggest Scottish Cup shock of all time. Mark Gallagher team as well. It is still goalless, but as Willie says, Aberdeen cannot get a foothold in this match.
It's not a great line, Willie, is it? Only one club through. Did you hear that?
Willie, sorry, caller. Sorry, caller. What was that? Can you repeat that?
Yes, only one club.
I think you're breaking
through.
up biscuits.
Okay,
Willie,
got you now.
Willie or Liam, I'm looking at, we have little screens here. I'm looking at the Elgin Aberdeen game. Looking at your game. 2 or 3 times already I've seen Aberdeen just be muscled off the ball. Is there, top of everything else, is there a physicality problem here?
Well, there's an energy problem, I would say. I don't know if it's a physicality. I mean, there's enough physical specimens out there when you look at the Aberdeen team.
Willie, Willie,
yeah?
can I just ask you, are Aberdeen just dropping off in some sort of mid to low block when they don't have the ball? Because that's astonishing to me that against an Elgin side they're not going all out energy and getting after the ball and looking to win it back higher up.
Well,
they look really
that's
deep.
how you should be playing.
Yeah,
that's how they should be playing the game. Yeah, Leanne, it should be full energy. It should be a high line as well. They should be taking the game to the opposite, but they haven't been doing.
We're going to try, guys. I know you can hear us. Your line's cutting on and off. There's a lot of distortion there in that line at Elgin. So we'll try and get that repaired. League 2 leaders East Fife are 1-0 away at Stranraer. Jack Healy with that goal on 50 minutes. Alan, before I round up the scores and go back around the grounds, I just wondered if you had some recall this week when you read about Erling Haaland getting a 9.5-year deal. Did that bring back
brilliant.
memories?
Yeah, certainly, Ken. He took me back and I thought, let's go and have a look at the 2 years. So he signs 9.5 years. I signed 8 years at Dundee United. He's on 500 grand a week. I was on 2 balloons and a stick. Haaland had a multi-million pound house in Cheshire. I stayed in Diggs and shared the room with Alec Cleland. He can have any car he wants. I had a
didn't have a 5-year option.
I know. He can have any car he wants. I drove a Renault car 14 with a cassette tape deck.
Yes, but
private jet he goes in. I wasn't allowed to keep my passport for 50 weeks of the year. Sponsors, he signed a 10-year deal with Nike. I was paid by Adidas to wear Puma. And honestly, Haaland got worldwide coverage. I had one line in the Dundee Courier.
Yes, Alan, but is he happy?
Exactly. Tom, as I say to everybody, he can only take £300 out of the cash line at a time.
Right, let's continue then our bounce around the grounds. We'll try and get that line fixed. Elgin City against Aberdeen. So a great start for the home side in your game there at McDermott, Alan.
Brilliant for St Johnstone. And you know what? I seen Motherwell at Tynecastle, really poor. I watched them at Easter Road last week for the first half, really poor, and again today, really poor. This must be a concern for Stuart Kettlewell. St Johnstone could be 2 up. They're already 1 up. Could have been 2 up if Griffiths had scored. It wouldn't be for Archie Mayor. Good save. And Motherwell so far have shown absolutely nothing in 16 minutes.
It's quite interesting. We've discussed Motherwell many times in this programme. We had Stuart Kettlewell join us live. He was sitting in the stand. One of the games was suspended for him. We put it to him about great league position.
Oh, there's been a goal here at East End Park.
Yes, Jane.
It's gone to the home side. Dunfermline are leading this one by goal to nil, and it's Chris Hamilton who's got the rebound from the corner. The ball eventually falling for him, and he did not miss his opportunity to slam the ball home. The home side, they've been threatening it, and they now lead this cup tie by goal to nil against Stenhousemuir.
Good stuff. Thanks to Jane Lewis. As I said, a big day with the club being taken over this morning. That was announced a short time ago. We'll get back to Motherwell. I think it's an interesting debate about sitting quite nicely in the league. They got to the League Cup semi-final, but a lot of fans very unhappy with the style of play, despite I think it was about 2,000 Motherwell fans made the trip up to McDermott Park today. Let's then get to the game at Easter Road. 2,500 Bankies making the journey through there, Stephen. They seem to be hanging in despite that early setback.
Well, it's the worst case scenario for them, isn't it? 90 seconds on the clock and you go 1-0 behind. A little bit of fear creeped in. They were a little bit nervous. They didn't want the ball. You can see how Gordon Moffat has set them up, that they want to play it from the back, and probably in their league they get a little bit of time to do so. They've tried it a couple of times against Hibs and they've nicked the ball, so there's a little bit of a fear factor. They are starting to settle down a little bit more. Someone like Nicky Lowe has to put his foot in the ball and try and make things take over. They just don't have the same dynamism that Hibs have. Malotnikov should have scored after 3 minutes, just shortly after Hibs had taken the lead. He also had another shot that just went wide a couple of moments ago. So Hibs know another goal could really kill the spirit of Clydebank. They can't afford to go another goal behind. It's going to be a mountain for them to climb. But so far they're just losing by the single goal. We said it, the full bottom tier here at Easter Road in the away stand has been filled by Banky. So a wonderful travelling support.
Right, that was a goal, but I think the line was just cutting off. Did you see it? I think it was Palmerston. Yeah, another goal. That's my score prediction gone early doors, but there you go. It looks another goal for St Mirren down there.
Looks like it could be Olasanya again, possibly.
Yeah.
It's going by the celebrations, but we'll hopefully get a replay we did in the last goal.
Yeah, we'll try and get that for you. Cammy Bell's there for us.
He's been
just
on
about
fire,
to shout goal.
Olasanya.
Yeah.
Really, really good player.
Other than last weekend, he did an absolute shocker when he missed the late penalty.
Yes.
Missed a big chance, 1-on-1. So it was no ways at another long throw.
So here we are here, we're getting a wee replay now. So the ball's coming back into the box, and it is, well, that's a nice
header. Nice header. Nice Ronnie came in on there.
They're bullying Queen of the South from set plays, the physicality of the the bigger players. It's brilliant from Olasanya, really good header.
Seeing that physicality, right?
Oh, goal!
Right, goal!
It's a goal for Ayr United. It's been pretty even, Stephen, the opening stages of this game. I think there's a corner right hand side header in. I'm sure it's Lani Agber, who's on loan from Celtic. Big centre half. He's got the header at the far post, knocked him beyond the goalkeeper. And Ayr United early on in this game, remember we started 5 minutes. I've only played 16 minutes in this match, 5 minutes behind the rest of the games. But it is Lani Agber who scored that corner kick on Ayr's right side. Goes to the far post and he leaps and gets the header beyond the goalkeeper across the keeper, and it's Ayr United ahead of Broxburn Athletic. Broxburn 0, Ayr United 1.
Yeah, and speaking of headers, Cammy Bell, we just saw a fine header down there for the second goal at Palmerston.
Yeah, it was a brilliant header, Kenny, from Olasanya. It was again, it started off from the long throw-in from Penman. It got recycled back out, and he's dinked a great ball into the box, and it's a brilliant header from Olasanya. And again, as Rory said pre-match, the physicality of St Mirren, Queen of the South have really struggled. The first goal comes directly from a throw-in, which doesn't get dealt when Olasanya taps in at the back post. But they've approached this game really well. I've been really impressed by St Mirren, the way they've went about their business so far. Really intense in their press, and they're very comfortable so far.
Right, we'll test this out. Goal at Elgin, Willie and Liam. No, Rory, talk us through it.
Yeah, it's a goal for Aberdeen. I didn't see it, I'm not going to lie, because a couple of goals went in elsewhere, so we maybe need to wait on a replay, but it's come against the run of play, but that'll settle Aberdeen right down. I did say that I thought their quality would shine through at some point. As much as Elgin have done well, it's the Premier League team who take the lead.
That must be a blessed relief, having got 1 goal in 6 games, I think, coming into this, Aberdeen.
I'm just glad there was a flurry of goals, Tom, to cover my the Ayr United.
Yeah, well, we weren't
still on, though.
We're moving on to that. It's only 1-0.
I'm the first one to bomb out this correct score prediction, that's for sure, with St Mirren 2-0 up at Palmer.
I think that's us up to 9 goals now. So those who've gone high, that little flurry there is good news because
Right.
it was slow early on.
You keep an eye on that. So Shaden Morris with the goal for Aberdeen, 1-0 up away at Elgin City. Let's get to John Robertson. John, we heard from Davy Martindale pre-match. He said there'll be very little between these two sides. Is that the way it's playing out?
Absolutely, it's been nothing in it at all. Ross County nearly took the lead in bizarre fashion. James Brown going down the right side, hit a cross, and he mishit the cross, but nearly went in the near post. It's flicked onto the bar, but Livingston responded well. They got the park, and Stevie May drew a good save from Amisa. He cut the ball inside and hit one from 25 yards, and then Muirhead looked one just over the bar as well. So it's feisty. There's been a couple of very, very meaty challenges with a Brian McGowan off for a whack in the nose as well from Jordan White. So it's everything you'd expect from these two teams. There's nothing in it. They're both getting wired right in here, and they're just waiting for an opening goal.
Good stuff, thanks to John Robertson. Let's get to Amy Canavan. Amy, you're watching Hamilton Accies against Musselburgh Athletic. What's happening?
Yeah, Accies just starting to assert their dominance that little bit more now, Kenny, as you would expect. Musselburgh just having to sit back that little bit deeper. But I do have to say, when they are on the break, they do still look dangerous. Nathan Evans really looks up for this lead in the line up there for Musselburgh, just as Accies are working this corner. And it's driven in, and oh my goodness gracious me, what a goal that is. I think it's Stephen Hendry. That is sensational. An absolute pile driver. If you catch this on the screens, it is Stephen Hendry. Wow, what a strike.
Right,
1-0 Accies.
Right, we're trying our best here with all these 11 screens in the studio here. I'm trying to identify which game it is.
We don't have it.
We don't have that one. We don't have that one. Right, so...
Well,
Amy,
it's a wonderful strike. They're missing an absolute cracker, and I'm blessed to have watched that. You saw two amazing goals last night for each Brecon and for Hearts, but this one is right up there. What a blow for Musselburgh. They've started so well, but Stephen Hendry, that is sensational.
Yeah, and you can watch that one on Sports Scene this evening in League 2. Stirling Albion have equalised away at Peterhead. Adam Brown on 23 minutes. The leaders East Fife have doubled their advantage away at Sunrar. Alan Troughton making it 2-0 on 25 minutes. Let's continue then around the grounds. Let's get back to the National Stadium. Gully Singh is there for us. Queen's Park against Montrose, and there was that missed chance in the spot early on, Gully.
Yes, Kenny, I mean, it could well be Cameron Gill who gets man of the match, considering the save from the penalty. Jack Turner stepped up, but McFarlane just made an absolute splendid save there. He just read it so well, and then a few minutes later he made another save. It was a golden chance. Liam McLeish acres of space. He just had to nod it in the bottom left, but Cameron Gill equal to it again. But it's all Queen's Park at the moment. It's still 0-0 between Queen's Park and Montrose.
Derek Ferguson predicted there would be goals down at the Rock. Dumbarton at home to Airdrie, and that is proving to be the case, Derek.
Yeah, just cutting out a little bit there, Kenny. Yeah, Airdrie on the driving seat at the moment. You just think it's the next goal so important. If Dumbarton get it, there's another shot from Dumbarton. Again, a shot from distance just going past the right-hand post. But Dumbarton need to get the next goal. If they don't, you just sense this Airdrie side, there's goals in them this afternoon. This Dumbarton defence, they're all at sea at times, so there's goals here, but the cup tie as it is at the moment still in the balance, but certainly Airdrie in the driving seat, 2-0.
Right, let's get to the Balmoral Stadium. Cove Rangers are home to Forfar Athletic. What's happening, Tyrone?
I've been very quiet, Kenny. We've got no goals, not a lot of action either. I think it's fair to say that it's not been a cup classic so far here at the Balmoral Stadium. 25 minutes in, just a one shot on goal that came just a few minutes ago. It was Cove's Finlay Marshall. It was a weak shot which was held by Forfar keeper Mark McCallum. The home side probably got a bit of a grip of things in terms of possession, but in terms of goal-mouth chances and clear-cut opportunities, not a whole lot to report here from the Balmoral Stadium, where it's Cove Rangers 0, Forfar Athletic 0.
Thanks to Tyrone Smith. So far in today's fixtures in the fourth round of the Scottish Cup, 11 ties kicking off at 3 o'clock, 5:30 start. Full commentary to come. Celtic against Kilmarnock. So in the 3 o'clocks, Broxburn Athletic 0, Ayr United 1, Cove Rangers 0, Forfar Athletic 0, Dumbarton 0, Airdrie 2, Dunfermline Athletic 1, Stenhousemuir 0, Elgin City 0, Aberdeen 1, Hamilton Accies 1, Musselburgh Athletic 0, Hibs 1, Clydebank 0, Queen of the South 0, St Mirren 2, Queen's Park 0, Montrose 0, Queen's Park missing a penalty there, penalty was saved, Ross County 0, Livingston 0, and St Johnstone 1, Motherwell 0. Anything at all, Alan, from Stuart Kettlewell's team?
Nothing. Honestly, I'm so shocked in them because they've been great this season in the league so far, but touched on it, Kenny, last few weeks have been really poor, and he had, Stuart said last week, they're playing a game every 2.6 days or something. He was saying they've had a rest since last week, but it's still not showing. St Johnstone are the better side, on the front foot, winning all the battles, They're the ones that are taking the game to Motherwell. Motherwell need to get their fingers out here. They're losing 1-0.
It's such an interesting situation, Stephen Craig, and we discussed this last week about Motherwell and the position they're in the league, doing well. They say we get the League Cup semi-final, but we've spoken a lot about the criticism of the style of play. They're a very hard side to read, very unpredictable, aren't they?
Again, it's not even the style of play, it's sometimes just the lack of bodies getting forward and the threat that they carry. That was exactly what happened in the first half last week against Hibs. And Stewart said after the game, we weren't under any threat, we didn't feel under any pressure. It was 2 goals that we shouldn't really have conceded. But ultimately, they didn't carry any threat or didn't show any ambition going forward. That's been the big criticism from the fans. When they've had to throw caution to the wind, like they did in the second half last week, they were very good. They carried all sorts of threat, the runners from everywhere. So whether that's the tactic from the manager or whether that's the players taking that upon themselves, but they have to show a little bit more ambition. They have to show a little bit more guile and take a few more risks getting themselves forward. Otherwise, we all know the league can change very, very quickly. You can lose 2 or 3 games, another 2 or 3, and suddenly you can find yourself in 10th or 11th place. But once the fans turn and once a negativity turns, it's very difficult to redirect that in your direction again. So clearly they're doing okay to this point in the league, but we all know things can change very quickly on a weekly basis.
In League One today, half an hour played. Annan Athletic 0, Inverness Cali Thistle 0. Peterhead are back in front at home to Stirling Albion 2-1 there. Stranraer 0, the leaders East Fife 2 in England. Today, lunchtime kickoff, Newcastle United 1, Bournemouth 4. Incredible given how Newcastle have been going. Brentford 0, Liverpool 0, Leicester City 0, Fulham 0, West Ham United 0, Crystal Palace 0, 5:30 start. Arsenal at home to Aston Villa. Willie, I think we've got you on the phone for an update.
Yeah, we have. Aberdeen's got a free kick just outside the box. It was shot towards the box, but it was well taken. It was Jensen that tried to go for the top corner. Yeah, it's been a bit of a struggle for Aberdeen, but they've got that opening goal well worked down the left-hand side. Jensen has been pretty prominent actually down that left-hand side, and Ambrose dummies the ball to allow Morris to simply put it into the back of the net. So that kind of has settled things down a little bit, and Aberdeen have got a little bit more control, and it's taken the energy out of the home side, I would suggest. So, you know, it looks as though Aberdeen they're in again, and it's an opportunity. Just past the post. Shayden Morris.
Yeah.
He should score.
Definitely.
He should score. But he just drilled it past the post. It looked easier to stick it into the back of the net. It looks as though it's taking a touch. They've got a corner kick from it, so maybe the goalkeeper got a little touch on it. But yeah, Aberdeen beginning to play more like the dominant team, and Shayden Morris again having an opportunity down the left, but it slides by the post. So still 1-0 to the visitors.
Right, well, we'll come back to you for any other goal updates, or certainly for a half-time report. Willie and Liam up there, problems with the line there, but we've got Willie on the phone. I have to tell you that there's a sports scene tonight. You'll see all the goals, and also you see the goals that flash up in the BBC Sport Live text. We've got access to that now, so look for these goals. And I think one to look out for, Rory, we don't have it in the studio here on the screens, but you just had a chance to look at the one that Amy described, the opener for Hamilton Accies.
Yeah, she described it perfectly. It's headed out to the right on the angle of the 18-yard box on the left-hand side, and it's Stephen Hendry who absolutely lasers it into the bottom corner. It's a difficult technique. He keeps his head over it on the half volley and pings it into the bottom corner. Great technique, and definitely worth watching.
Right, let's reverse the charges.
I wouldn't be surprised. Now, listen, you know what it's like. See when you go to a game and your equipment's not working the way it should. Terrible. It's an absolute nightmare. But at least we're getting the coverage there, and we have the benefit of having the pictures coming into the studio here. Chick Young.
Kenny, sorry, St Johnstone had another chance. It was just a simple ball played through. Mackenzie Cooks at the angle. He's actually got Griffiths square of him. He should have squared it. He elects to hit the shot just wide of the target. St Johnstone could be out of sight here.
Yeah, this could be just what they need. Could they get a win today and then kick on the league? My goodness, they need it. They're adrift at the bottom of the table. Let's get to Chick. Chick's watching Broxburn Athletic against Ayr United. What's happening there, Chick?
I'm still laughing at Alan's time machine. When's the last time anyone reversed the charges?
Well, I've seen your Nokia that you still walk about with.
There's an answer to that, but I won't. Yeah, it's still 1-0 to Ayr United at Broxburn. They are the better team. They've got a grip in it. They really want this second goal just to settle down. The goal came after 16 minutes. We're running 5 minutes behind the rest of the games because of the traffic apparently outside the ground. Shot just coming in there. It was Agbair with the goal header, corner on the right hand side, header at the far post. The big lad's on loan from the Celtic B team. I've seen him play with the Celtic B team actually. He's a useful player, looks comfortable on the ball. He got that goal, and I think that Ayr would just like another goal. There been no threat from Broxburn at the other end, but I think Ayr United would just like a second goal to settle down. But at the moment they lead Broxburn Athletic by 1-0.
Let's go down to Palmerston. St Mirren cruising down there away to Queen of the South. Cammy Bell, anything at all from the home team?
Not a lot, Kenny, to be honest. They've really struggled so far in the game. The physicality of St Mirren has just dominated the whole game. Long throw-ins, long balls up to Mandron and Olasanya. Queens just can't deal with it, so St Mirren are well in control at this moment in time and look as if it's going to be a comfortable afternoon for them.
Right, let's get back to Dingwall. John Robertson's watching Ross County against Livingston. Close at all to a breakthrough there, Robbo?
Not really, no. As I said, it's a feisty old game here. I'd say both teams are getting stuck in, but you'd be hard pressed to say who the better team is. A wee chance for Livingston here, or is offside. Livingston have, as I said, had the two efforts from Muirhead and Stevie May drawn at a save, and then the Brown cross shot that was tipped onto the top of the bar. But I mean, Livingston are well in this. Muirhead's been launching these throws into the box. There's another one thrown in, flicked on. It was a bit of a scramble to get it clear, but right now there's absolutely nothing in it. No goals, 35 minutes gone, but nothing between the teams at all.
Thanks to John Robertson. Let's get back to Amy Canavan. Amy's watching Hamilton Accies against Musselburgh Athletic. We haven't a chance to have a look at that goal. You described it perfectly, Amy. An absolute belter for the home side.
Absolutely cracking from Stephen Hendry, who's been given this breath of confidence from it. He's just whipped in a delicious ball into the box as well, but Connor Smith, I think it was, at the back post couldn't quite latch on. And as I mentioned, just before they got that goal, Accies really were starting to grow into the game, and now they've really completely asserted their dominance, and they're passing the ball around really nice. And saying that, actually, that is Musselburgh Athletic again. What a shock. Nathan Evans nicking the ball, and they're driving away right now. But it has been an enjoyable game. As I say, Musselburgh started also well, and Accies now just having that lead through an absolutely sensational strike. There is nothing that Liam McCarthy can do in goal, and really, to be honest, there's nothing really that Musselburgh defence could do either, because they dealt initially with the corner okay, and it just fell so very kindly for Stephen Hendry. So yes, still 1-0 to the Accies.
The home side also with a narrow advantage. Jane Lewis at East End Park, Dunfermline home to Stenhousemuir.
Yeah, listen, Dunfermline are in control of this one, but I have to say, just a minute ago or so, Michael Anderson for Stenhousemuir did really well to rob the ball in the middle of the park, race forward, and then the Pars goalkeeper did equally well to come out. He was brave to smother his shot. But yeah, Dunfermline, you could say they're in control in this one. It's fair to say Stenhousemuir are seeing a bit more of the ball. They're getting back into this game a little bit, but yeah, Dunfermline leading this one by a 0-0 after that brilliant goal from Chris Hamilton. Absolutely smashed the ball from close range into the back of the net, and yeah, they're certainly very, very comfy, and they've got some good players, some experienced players in this side, Kenny, and they're leading this one by a 0-0.
Thanks to Jane Lewis. Just want another reminder to our listeners, we heard some fantastic tributes to the late great Dennis Law, who passed away yesterday, particularly from John Gregg, who joined Chick at the top of the programme. He of course played alongside Dennis Law. Fantastic stories, great memories. If you, the listener, has a memory you'd like to share with us, we'll get them played out later on. You can send us a voice note on WhatsApp, 0800 92 95 00, 0800 92 95 00. Alan.
It's a chance for Motherwell. St Johnstone make their own downfall, try to play out the back, and it's Andy Halliday through with a shot, and it's blocked. I think Sanders gets over and manages to clear it away for a corner.
Liam, what's your take on the Motherwell situation and the bit of grief that the manager's been getting in recent weeks?
I know, look, I think results and performance-wise, that's only going to be kind of natural. I do feel for Motherwell this season as well when you look at the injuries that they've had, you know, and it was the same last season. There was various points, and I know every team has their problems, but I think even again when you look at the fact that Oxborough now, I think I read yesterday, is out for a bit of time. Paul McGinn's season is over. Lost Lennon Miller for a lengthy period of time, and I think if we were looking at any of the top sides, if you were looking at even Rangers or Celtic at a point in the season,
Zach Robinson as well, Stamatopoulos.
Zach Robinson's out, Stamatopoulos, yep, there's a number of players there as well, and the likes of Jack Vale, you know, out, even play, and I know he's not featured this season, but even the likes of like Ross Callaghan that Stuart brought into the club and looked to try. He's not been there, so at points in the season when you're needing a bit of freshness, you get a couple of injuries, you then look for reinforcements, and I don't quite think he's got those reinforcements now to come in and help out. You've got to just weather the storm. You take the good with the bad. I think they've had their plaudits this season, but as I say, injuries certainly haven't helped when you're going through that sticky run of form and you're just looking to grind it out. They've lost some of those key players, as I mentioned. A McGinn and a Miller for me are two key players. If you lose them out of any match day squad, then you're a much weaker team, and that's clearly been the case for Motherwell.
Yeah, and they're up against it this afternoon behind away to St John's. Let's get to the National Stadium. Queen's Park at home to Montrose. What's the latest there, Gully?
Yeah, Kenny, still 0-0 at the moment. They are a decent spell of possession for Montrose without really threatening. I suppose Cameron Gill, yeah, is the name that I keep mentioning, but he's kept the scores level, especially after that penalty save there. But Queen's Park may ponder some changes in the second half if they can't break this resistance, but it's still currently Queen's Park 0, Montrose 0.
Let's get to Dumbarton against Airdrie.
Here's a chance for St Johnstone, they're through again. Oh, he goes down, he's wanting a penalty, not for me. He tries to cut inside, it's Sam Curtis. He cuts inside Casey, not a penalty for me. He's got to get his shot off, he wants to get back on his left foot.
Right, we're waiting on a replay for that one, Alan. We'll give you a shout on that. Let's get to Derek Ferguson watching Dumbarton against Airdrie. What's the latest there, Derek?
Yeah, Kenny, it's still Dumbarton 0, Airdrie 2. Cracking cup tie, I've got to say, Kenny. It's a little bit old-fashioned. You know, they're not taking 30, 40 passes forward. You know, it's 1 and 2, and it's boom, they get it forward and they look for the second ball. So there's been plenty of chances, great tackles as well. It's a little bit old-fashioned. You know, I say about the surface isn't great, but it's just, you know, some of it's taking me back about 20 30s. I'm quite enjoying it at the moment, but you can just there's more goals in this game. I don't think it will finish 2-0.
Good stuff.
See at the moment, Airdrie, they try with that 2-goal lead.
Thanks to Derek Ferguson there watching Dumbarton against Airdrie. Let's get back to Willie Miller again. Apologies, we've got technical issues here, but Willie is at least on the phone for us this afternoon. What's the latest there, Willie?
Yeah, Aberdeen controlling procedures now, Kenny. You know, a couple of opportunities. Morris 1v1 with the goalkeeper, puts it past the post, should really score. And then just a few minutes ago, Ambrose is put through Duke, and he's through again. He's going to get a touch on it. No, goalkeeper comes out and takes control of the situation. But Ambrose 1v1 with Aidan Glavin in goal and only hits the legs. And they've got to show much more composure. Both these players, Morris should have scored, and certainly Ambrose, under very little pressure, didn't look confident at all, and it's a weak effort from him. So Aberdeen now back in control of this game, 1-0 up, should be more, and looking much more brighter than they did in the first 10-15 minutes or so of the game.
Willie, Tom's been talking about, at the start of the programme, about the changes the manager wants to make to the squad. And of course, I've seen that already, and Liam telling us more incomings on the way this month. I know Sivert Nielsen has been playing in defence, not today, but he's been covering in the defensive area. Do you think when he goes back to his natural position that him and Shinnie can play in the same midfield? Is that effective?
Sorry, Kenny.
Did you think that Sivert Nielsen...
The noise in the stand, but I think I picked up a bit of it. Yeah, Nielsen's a midfield player. He's not a centre-back. He could go back there as you know, a short-term solution, and that's what was required. But he's a midfield player. Listen, I think you're still very early in Tilleen's time, and there's no doubt that the chairman and the board are going to back him. He's going to be able to bring in his own players. He's got players to come back as well that have been injured. He's got to build that squad. He's got an identity to this team. It's not shining through just now, but he doesn't have his own players. So I think give it a little bit of time. I think his intent is right. The identity is pretty good.
That's
it's forward thinking.
It's a penalty kick to Ayr United. This is a chance for them to go 2-0 up. Remember, the lad leading by a goal, 2-0. It was a handball and by one of the Broxburn defenders. It was a strike, I think, by Jay Henderson. It's come with a defender, will be a booking as well. I'll identify that player in a moment or two, but it is I think that the handball is actually from Jonathan Page. He looks a bit disgruntled, yellow card, and it's going to be Jay Henderson from the penalty spot to put Ayr United ahead. They're way ahead in terms of possession in this match already. 1 goal ahead. The chance to get a second one, it's going to be right-footed from Jay Henderson. He stands for a while right on the 18-yard line, just looks at the crowd behind the goal standing there. Here comes Henderson. Oh, the goalkeeper saved it. In fact, he's held it. Oh, it's a dreadful penalty kick. Oh, it's not. Is it scrimmed in? I thought he'd held that. It's gone right below him, and in fact, Ayr United are 2-0 ahead. I thought the goalkeeper had held that.
Rory thought it was in with a wee chance there, Chick. Rory thought it was in with a wee chance.
He's just winding me up. He did that on purpose.
Right, so United have got a second goal there from the penalty spot. Rory, I know Willie's just on the phone. It's hard to hear when you're on the phone at a ground. Just your thoughts on Sivert Nielsen and Shinnie in the midfield together. Do you think that works?
I mean, if you win, you go unbeaten in 11 and you think, well, it must be working, but I think all things considered, they are quite similar. They're there to break up the play and pass it to the players that can make things happen, but generally speaking, you've got a player, one of those two players would normally get forward a lot more, contribute goals-wise, assists-wise, that type of idea. So I don't think they complement each other particularly well. I'm just surprised today he's went with Nielsen instead of Shinnie, as I've said before, for the reasons I gave before, which is that I think your club captain should be playing in games like this.
Cove Rangers.
Yes, Tyrone.
Yeah, the half-time interval's approaching here, and it's the home side who've just broken the deadlock. It was a lovely ball. It was slipped through the middle. It was picked up by Adam Emsley. He bore down in goal. He popped the ball through Matt McCallum's legs in the Forfar goal to ripple the net and make it Cove Rangers 1, Forfar Athletic 0.
Good stuff. Tyrone tells us it's not a classic there, but a very, very important goal for the home side. One game in League One today, and Athletic 0, Inverness Califiscal 1, Alfie Babbage and 40.
Here at East End Park, Kenny, and it's a Ewan Otto who has absolutely rifled this one in again from close range too. The ball was kind of bobbling around a little bit, and he got on the end of it and made absolutely sure that goal was going in. The ball was going into the back of the net. You can hear the announcer confirming it that Ewan Otto has made it 2-0 to Dunfermline against Housemuir.
Thanks to Jane Lewis. John Robertson, big moment.
Penalty, yes, it's a penalty for Livingston. It was just McAleer's just drilled a free kick in there. It's no real threat, but Aki O'Reilly's jumped and just threw his hand up, punched it away. It's the easiest penalty kick that you're going to see all season. It's so bizarre because there's no threat. The ball's 16 yards out. The best I think Muirhead can do is knock it down, but Robbie Muirhead has a chance in the 45th minute to put Livingston ahead.
Right, here we go. Robbo, take it away.
We're just waiting. The referee's making sure it was outside the box. I say Robbie Muirhead has been launching throw-in after throw-in, and this would be deserved on the balance of play and the balance of possession. Robbie Muirhead steps up. Goal, Livingston! Sima dives to his left. Robbie Muirhead puts it down to the right. It's Ross County 0, Livingston 1.
Yeah, big goal. It was a tricky one, I think, for Ross County, who've actually been very good away from home recently, but it's not an ideal tie. Livingston, who have got a good few players in their squad that have got Premiership experience, they're a physical side going up to Ross County. You've got the armoury to go there and make a right good game of it, and I don't think many would have predicted many goals in the game, so that 1-0 lead could prove pretty big because it's been pretty close so far. So huge goal for Livingston.
Ken, see, just touching on your point about Graham Shinnie and Sivert Nielsen, see if the two of them play in the team, the guy ahead of them, the number 10, has to be really good. He's got to be so influential. The two wide players have to be on the money and the centre forward, so the four players ahead of them have to be at it, and you have to say at this moment in time the Aberdeen players haven't been in those areas. So people are looking at that and thinking that's the issue, the two holding midfield players. It's probably a mix of both, that they are very efficient at what they do, they keep the game simple, they don't penetrate with passes or runs, but then the four ahead of them have to influence games an awful lot more, and it might just take a little bit of focus off those two and a little bit of pressure. So that's why Jimmy Tilleen has to get the balance right, I think, in that area.
Craigs, can I just ask, talking of that type of player, I was happy to see Rudy Molotnikov be in the side today. For Hibs, I think he's a great young Scottish talent, really good. He's suffered confidence-wise.
Half time at the Balmoral Stadium.
Hibs started relatively poorly. Has he had? I know it's they're not playing Premiership opposition, but how's he been today?
Just okay, Rory. He looks like he hasn't played for a while. The game's easy for him at times. He's getting the ball and there's nobody within 10 or 15 yards, so he's kind of driving forward and he's pleasing on the eye. He moves the ball well, but he hasn't been as effective. I watched him earlier in the season against Queen's Park here in the League Cup, and he was terrific. He was really, really good. He was bright, he was lively. Today, he's just been okay. And when you're coming into a team that's winning games, you have to come in and stand out if you want to put yourself in contention.
You've gone on about Nielsen as well. Nielsen's came from a league he's not had a break.
Yes. Yeah.
And now there's Keskinen. When you look at Keskinen, he's another one who's played for a long, long time. It's almost a calendar year.
You look at the middle of the with Sivert Nielsen and with Shinnie, they're both 33. I mean, do you want two 33-year-olds in the middle of the park You want one a bit younger, a bit more dynamic, a bit more energy. I don't know if the combination is it was fine at the early season when they were a bit more fresh.
Not week in, week out, Tom. I think that's the thing, isn't it? You need a bit of freshness, you need a bit of variation at points, different games. Maybe you need 1 6, at times you need 2 6s, dependent on the opposition. I just don't think Aberdeen have been
afforded.
afforded.
McDermott and the Motherwell fans are not happy at all. You can hear them in the background. St Johnstone lead comfortably 1-0.
1-0 Livingston.
Thanks, guys. There's also Leanne, Joe saying, Steve was talking there about the pressure that it puts on your number 10 and the forward players as well. And you were saying Kevin Nisbet's been a huge disappointment. 1-0, yes, Scully?
Yeah, corner was just played down there. There was a bit of a mess in the defence there for Montrose. Couldn't clear the ball. I think it was Ryan Duncan that's got on the end of it there, but they've just scored before half time. Queen's Park 1, Montrose 0.
Fantastic. Kevin Nisbet's been a big disappointment, hasn't he?
He has. Look, and I think injuries aside, I think Nisbet, as I mentioned earlier on, coming back to Scottish football, knowing how prolific he was in his time here, and the reason why he got his move away from Scotland, and the reason why he was linked with various other clubs is that form and his ability to score goals. And the reality is he's not come up with anywhere near enough that Aberdeen have required, especially when you lose Papa Gay. Nisbet was an immediate replacement. You're looking at him to carry on that really good start to the season. Even the likes of Esther Sockler up top, I think the balance was much better in the early part of the season when you had Papa Gay in the team, you had Sockler in the team, McGrath was in good form, you had the likes of Clarkson coming off the bench at that point, then coming into the game I thought he looked really good in a much higher advanced position. And the two players in the middle of the pitch, as we spoke about, Shinnie and Nielsen, looked good, but it's a lot of games, there's a lot of demand. When you get to 33, you need to have the ability at times to take those players in and out and freshen them up and then bring them back in, and they've almost just fizzled out way too soon in the season.
Yeah, the half-time whistle's gone up there at Elgin. Elgin City 0, Aberdeen 1. The half-time whistle's going around the country.
Half-time here, Kenny. East End Park, Dunfermline 2, Stenhousemuir 0. The Pars pretty in control in the first half.
Thanks to Jane Lewis. Chris Hamilton with the opener in 60 minutes. Ewan Utu with the second goal on 41 minutes. You're still...
Half-time at Accies 1-0 to Hamilton Accies against Muscle Brathley.
Thanks to Amy Canvan.
Half-time at Hampden, Queen's Park 1, Montrose 0.
Half-time, Kenny. Dumbarton 0, Airdrie 2.
Thanks, guys. And you're still playing Broxman Athletic against Ayr United. Check a late start there.
Yeah, we were 5 minutes behind the teams, with the rest of the games rather, with traffic issues round about the ground. We're now into time added on in the first half. Ayr United have a real grip in this game. They lead by 2-0. Agbert scored with a header from the corner, and then a Jay Henderson penalty put them 2-0 ahead. And I have to say, Kenny, that Ayr's goalkeeper Harry Stone, I don't think he's actually touched the ball, certainly not made a save in the first half. I have to say, Ayr United way ahead of Broxburn and everything they've got to offer. There's another ball floated in the right hand side. The goalkeeper's tipped it over the crossbar. Yeah, we're waiting for the half-time whistle. Ayr United very much ahead in this game. 2-0 the score.
Can I just say, Kenny, 15 goals looks like at half-time. I predicted 30, and of course we all know I predicted 2-1 Ayr, so I just need a Broxburn goal.
Listen, Rory, you're in it. I'm not. I'm out. I'm well out of it. I did go for goals today, but I got my correct score.
I'm below schedule. I went for 40. They need to start getting a move on. Somebody missed a penalty earlier on. It was not good.
I know it's horrible, isn't it? You're watching all these games. Listen, we want goals. It's been decent so far. Some interesting stories. I don't think. Well, you couldn't call if Livingston beat Ross County. You're not calling that a big shock, because David Martindale said, look, bottom half of the Premiership, top half of Championship.
Between them.
Yeah, he said there's very little between these sides. And listen, that's proven to be the case. They're ahead there thanks to that penalty from Robbie Muirhead just before half-time there. So we're still waiting on a few half-time scores to come in. I can tell you in League One this afternoon, just the one game there. Half-time Annan Athletic 0, Inverness Cali Thistle 1. And in League 2...
That's it, Kenny.
Thanks to Chick. Peterhead 2, Stirling Albion 1 and Stranraer 0, East 5-2. So we'll get as many half-time reports in for you as we can. Stay tuned to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. Remember, on the telly, BBC One from 4:30.
All the grounds, all the goals, all the news.
This is Open All Mics from Sports Sound.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
During Glasgow's winter, when it's cold outside,
there's a festival of music with doors open wide.
With folk, roots and music from all around.
And Radio Scotland here to bring you incredible sound.
We are all set for a good night, aren't we?
sublime was that?
Join us at Celtic Connections this winter on programmes like the Arts Mix.
With highlights including Katie Tunstall and Loudon Wainwright III on the key sessions.
Exclusive performances on travelling folk.
And a Burns Night special on Take the Floor.
Celtic Connections begins Monday afternoon from 3:30 on BBC Radio Scotland and Sounds.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. A huge weekend in the Scottish footballing calendar. 4th round of the Scottish Cup. 11 ties kicked off at 3 o'clock. We are reporting from all of them, all covered on Open All Mics. 5:30 full commentary to come. Celtic at home to Kilmarnock. Let's then get to Elgin City at home to Aberdeen and get the half-time report from Willie Miller.
Yes, 1-0 at half-time here, Kenny, and after a very sluggish start from the visitors, they began to take control. In the first 10-15 minutes, though, Elgin had 2-3 opportunities, the best one falling to Lewis Hind, who struck it by the post. He's coming in from the right-hand side. He's got a good view at the goal, but Hyde just manages to ease it past that near post. Aberdeen then, they get the goal in 21 minutes, which really settles them down, and since then they've been very much in charge of this game. They did have an opportunity before, cross from the left-hand side, and Ambrose hits the bar, and then Shaden Morris breaks a deadlock. Good work again down the left-hand side. Jensen has been very prominent, links with Duke. The cross comes in, Ambrose lets it go, and Morris, it's quite an easy chance to break that deadlock, and he makes no mistake and slots it into the back of the net. Aberdeen should be probably 3 up. They've had 2 1v1 opportunities. Shaden Morris in the goalkeeper didn't show enough composure, and he puts it by the far post when he really should have at the very least hit the target, make the goalkeeper work. But for me, it should have ended up in the back of the net, and then Ambrose gets an opportunity again. A 1v1 mistake this time by the Elgin defence. He runs through, and it's a weak effort. He hits it low, it comes off the legs of Aidan Glavin in goal, and the chance was gone. So here at half-time, looking much brighter for Jimmy Talleen and Aberdeen. They're leading 1-0 and in control of the game.
Thanks to Willie Miller. Let's then get to McDermott Park. St Johnstone at home to Motherwell. There for us, Alan Preston.
St Johnstone 1, Motherwell now, and they're good value for that game. In fact, they should be further ahead. They took the lead in 9 minutes. It was a corner flicked on by Griffiths. The keeper makes a decent save, but there's Mackenzie Kirk to knock it home from about a yard. Victor Griffiths then had a shot well saved by the keeper. And as far as Motherwell were concerned, Nicholson pulled the ball out there. Maswanisi had a really good effort, but well saved by the keeper. Then Mackenzie Kirk again with a shot with a tight angle where he should have rolled it square. Then just on half-time, a Kirk cross found Carey, and his shot leaning back just flew over the top of the crossbar. Motherwell booed off at half-time. Half-time score, St Johnstone 1, Motherwell 0.
Thanks to Alan Preston. Next stop, Easter Road. Hibs at home to Clydebank. There for us, Stephen Craigan.
Yeah, it only took 90 seconds, Kenny, for the home side to take the lead. Really good play down the left-hand side by Junior Hoylett after a nightmare for Adam Hodge, the right back. It was a simple ball over the top from Jack Iredale. He tried to go and head the ball, misjudged it completely. Hoylett fizzed it across, and Martin Boyle put it into the back of the net for his 5th goal in 2.5 games. At that stage, you thought the floodgates may open and Clydebank may roll over, but they didn't. They've stuck to their game plan. Hibs will be disappointed that they haven't really worked Andrew Leishman in goal. He's not been overworked. He's had a couple of saves, but nothing really to worry him to any great extent. That will frustrate David Gray. He's made 5 changes in the game. He's tried to freshen it up, to give players an opportunity. Have they taken that opportunity? Probably not to this stage. Clydebank defensively have been sound. They've had to soak up a little bit of pressure. They haven't really carried a threat. The only effort they've had towards goal was a shot from the veteran Nicky Lowe from about 25 yards that went over the top of the goal of Jordan Smith. The away fans are singing. They're enjoying themselves. You just want a little bit more impetus, a little bit more belief in the final third going forward. But for Hibs, they lead by a single goal to 0 at half-time.
Thank you to Stephen Craig. And next up, Palmerston, Queen of the South at home to St Mirren. Let's hear from Cammy Bell.
Yeah, Kenny, it's Queen of the South 0, St Mirren 2. It's been a real dominant performance from St Mirren in this first half. They made the breakthrough after 11 minutes. It was a long throw-in from Penman. It wasn't dealt with by the Queen of the South defender, and there was Olisanya at the back post just to tap in. A brilliant goal for St Mirren. And then it was another long throw-in after 21 minutes from Penman that got recycled back out to him. He delivered a fantastic ball into the box, and it was Olisanya again. Brilliant header into the corner past Stewart into the Queen of the South goal to give them no chance. Again, St Mirren just played with that high intensity, high tempo, and Queens couldn't deal with the physicality of their striker Mandron and Olasanya. And Olasanya could have had his hat-trick on 44 minutes. Again, another long throw-in, which Queens didn't deal with. He hits the post at the back post this time. The only real notable chance for Queens in the first half was on 45 minutes. It was a ball into the box and Hewitt managed to find himself free and he headed straight at Zach Hemmings. But so far this afternoon, it's been a very comfortable afternoon for St Mirren. Up Palmerston Park, it's Queen of the South 0, St Mirren 2.
Thanks to Cammy Bell. Let's hear from John Robertson. John is watching Ross County against Livingston.
Yeah, in the half-time here at Ross County 0, Livingston 1. And David Martindale said before the game that he didn't think there's much between the teams. And that's exactly what's been borne out here so far. Ross County have hardly had an effort in goal. The only shot of note was a cross actually from Jason Brown wide. He's whipped it in and it's just tipped over the bar by Pryor. It wasn't even a shot. After that, Livingston slowly took a bit of control. Muirhead hooked one over the bar before Stevie May hit a 25-yarder, which Amisela saved. And then there was Muirhead was throwing long balls at the boxes. One flicked on, it bounced diagonally away from Stevie May. And then the 44th minute, Livingston took, for me, a deserved lead. It was a nothing free kick about 35 yards out. Rhys McAleer aimed it to the back area 16 yards out, and inexplicably Akil Wright jumped up and punched the ball off the head of Muirhead when there was no threat whatsoever. The aforementioned Robbie Muirhead stood up and he comfortably put Amisa the wrong way to send the travelling Livy Lions fans into raptures over the far side. At half time, Ross County 0, Livingston 1.
Thanks to John Robertson. Rory, you've had a chance to have a look at the penalty incident.
It's something else.
Yeah, I mean, of all the handballing incidents over the last few years, you could sit and debate and sit on the fence on and not be quite sure about. I mean, that is as clear as day. He raises his hand way above his head and simply punches the ball.
I mean, that's something that you'd expect to see at Murrayfield, like a Scottish second row forward at a line-out.
It looks
going up to knock the ball down to his scrum half. This was what it was like.
It was absolutely dreadful.
Incredible. What was he thinking about?
Yeah, wait until how he sees a replay of that one. Let's get to Chick Young. Chick, you're watching Broxburn Athletic against Ayr United.
Yeah, I think I have to say that all my colleagues' predictions are falling apart at the seams, including this one where Ayr United are very comfortable 2-0 ahead against Broxburn Athletic at half-time. Very straightforward. I do not recall the Ayr United goalkeeper, Harry Stone, having anything to do, hardly a touch of the ball. Certainly no saves in that first half. Ayr United ahead after just 16 minutes. Agbear with a header, corner right-hand side. Lovely header from Lanny Agbear, who's on loan from Celtic. He's been in the Celtic B team, very accomplished, comfortable defender, but he's had no pressure on him in terms of dealing with anything Broxburn have had to offer. But he scored that fine goal and Ayr were settled. They needed a second one just to get a real grip of the game. That came via the penalty spot, handball, and it was awarded to Ayr United. Jay Henderson stepped up and drove it. At first, to be honest with you, I thought that Robert Watt in the Broxburn goal had saved it, but my eyes deceived me. It went beyond him and Ayr United were 2-0 ahead, very much with a grip on this game. Over 2,000 inside the little stadium in Broxburn. We had the kick-off delayed because of traffic around about the ground, but Ayr United visiting fans got in. They've started and they'll be very pleased the way their team seemed to be navigating and proceeding in the direction of the next round of the Scottish Cup. 2-0 ahead.
Thanks to Chick. Amy Canavan, I think you have definitely seen goal of the day so far. Hamilton Accies against Musselburgh Athletic.
It's not going to be beaten, Kenny. I'm going to put my neck out on the line there. There is no way whatsoever that Stephen Hendry's strike is going to be beaten. And it was a real body blow for Musselburgh Athletic, who had started so well in their first fourth round game in the Scottish Cup. It is just simply a sensational strike from Stephen Hendry of Hamilton Accies that has dampened their day so far. The left back found a little bit of space about 20 yards out on the angle following a corner, and he unleashed an absolutely wild, wonderful, arrowed effort. Blitzed by Liam McCarthy. He had absolutely no chance, and don't just take my word for it. Get over onto the app and the website, check it out, because you will not be disappointed. But the Borough, they will be disappointed after that really encouraging showing. As I mentioned, even since going behind though, they have posed a threat on the break, but the Championship side have stepped it up a notch, creating some decent chances. It is Hamilton Accies 1, Musselburgh Athletic 0, and the players have just come out here at NDP for the second half.
Yeah, as Amy said, you can watch that goal now on the BBC Sports Scot website. Also see all the goals on Sports Scene this evening, and all the goals coming up in the second half across the country right here on BBC Radio Scotland.
Chance, and it's a goal! Oh, what a goal!
All all the action from all the biggest games.
Oh, it's the second goal! This is Open All Mics from Sports Sound.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
And you are listening to Open All Mics on BBC Radio Scotland. 11 ties kicked off at 3 o'clock in the fourth round of the Scottish Cup. Broxburn Athletic 0, Ayr United 2, Cove Rangers 1, Forfar Athletic 0, Dumbarton 0, Airdrie 2, Dunfermline Athletic 2, Stenhousemuir 0, Elgin City 0, Aberdeen 1, Hamilton Accies 1, Musselburgh Athletic 0, Hibs 1, Clydebank 0, Queen of the South 0, St Mirren 2, Queen's Park 1, Montrose 0, Ross County 0, Livingston 1, St Johnstone 1, Motherwell 0. 5:30 start, full commentary to come. Celtic at home to Kilmarnock. A reminder, we're on TV today, BBC One, from 4:30 until 5:15. One game in League One today, Annan Athletic 0, Inverness, Cally Thistle 1. Two games in League Two, Peterhead 2, Stirling Albion 1, Stranraer 0, the leaders East Fife 2. And in England today, the lunchtime kick-off finish, Newcastle United 1, Bournemouth 4. 3 o'clock starts, Brentford 0, Liverpool 0, Leicester City 0, Fulham 0, West Ham United 0, Crystal Palace 0. 5:30 start, Arsenal at home to Aston Villa. Let's then get back to Alan Preston. You were saying the large travelling support there, showing their anger on that half-time whistle, Alan.
Yeah, not happy at all. They booed Motherwell off, and Stuart Kettlewell's made a couple of changes, Ken, at the start of the second half. Off has gone Casey and Andrews, and on has come O'Donnell and Slattery, but in truth they created very, very little. And again, we go on about looking at the percentages. They had 37% possession in that opening period against a team that's languishing in the same league as them, 9 adrift. It's not good enough for them.
No, it's been very, very poor from Motherwell today. We've had plenty of chat about the concern among the fans about the lack of chances created, the style of football. Stephen Craigan is at Easter Road for us. I think we all fear for Clydebank getting their big day out ruined through there in the capital with that early goal for the home side. But to be fair to the Bankies, Stephen, they've hung in there.
Well, I was going to use the word hung in there, or that phrase hung in there as well, Kenny, but they haven't really been under enormous amounts of pressure. Yes, Hibs have been dominating the ball. David Craig's made a couple of changes at half-time. He's taken off Rocky Bashiri and Kuharovic, and he's brought in Chris Cadden, and it's the second goal as we speak. There you go, right on. That was Chris Cadden playing in Martin Boyle down to the byline. He chips the ball up to the back post, and I think it's Rudy Molotnikov who comes in at the back post and makes it 2-0. So they started the first half poorly. They were a goal down after 90 seconds, and Hibs have got the second goal after a minute. The restart, and it's 2-0 to Hibs. But yeah, he made the changes. He brought in Chris Cadden and Josh Campbell, off at Rocky Bashiri and Kuharovic, just to bring a little bit more impetus, and it's paid off. It's 2-0, and it now looks a long way back for the Bankies.
You do now fear for Clydebank, Stephen, don't you? You know, that's a sickler. That's the kind of resistance gone. Any hope really of getting a draw is gone for them now.
Yeah, well, you'd imagine that Gordon Moffat had a rousing half-time team talk to tell them they haven't played great, they haven't been as good in the ball as what they can be, they haven't created any real chances, so surely we can't play as poor as that a game. We've got to go out and really try and take the game to Hibs in the second half, and then the big tennis come out and burst the bubble.
Gracious me, Musselburgh Athletic have got a goal right in front of their fans. They are going absolutely wild at New Douglas Park. Sensational, the magic of the Scottish Cup. I think it's Jamie Todd with the header. It's a wonderful corner work done. Hamilton Accies sleeping, and the scenes here. This is what the Scottish Cup is all about. Musselburgh Athletic, for the first time in the fourth round, they are drawing with Scottish Championship side Hamilton Accies 1-1.
Absolutely
goal here
fantastic.
Also East End Park,
yes,
and Kenny, I can tell you it's an early third goal for the home side. Dunfermline going 3-0 up against Stenhousemuir. Lewis McCann with a goal. It was brilliant play in the middle of the park from Joe Chalmers. He played it out wide to that man who's been ever so impressive, Kane Richie Holster. He floated in a lovely ball. Lewis McCann was lurking at the back post, and he wasn't going to miss from close range. 3-0 to Dunfermline against Stenhousemuir.
Thank you to Jane Lewis and to Amy Canavan. In League Two, Stirling Albion have equalised away at Peterhead. Callum Crane in 49 minutes, 2 apiece there. Down in England, West Ham United 0, Crystal Palace 1. Mateta with a goal on 48 minutes. Confirmation that Molotnikov second goal for Hibs
what
on
a great
46 minutes. Leicester City 0, Fulham 1, Emile Smith-Rowe on 48 minutes. Alan Preston.
Dre Wright, who's playing, believe this, Kenny, right centre half, and I know Dre personally, and he's one of these guys that Robbo can call wee man. He's playing right centre half, and he's just flashed one right across the box there. No takers for St Johnstone. What a brilliant ball. Motherwell need to get into this game. Disappointing so far. 1-0 St Johnstone.
Aberdeen have started well in the second half. Ambrose missed a great chance bearing down on goal, right hand side, dragged it wide. And they had another chance just a moment ago, but he didn't catch the shot particularly well.
Joe, just looking at a little challenge today, I was flagging up when I was through to my trail on off the ball. Killian Sheridan was one of the guests there, and he's looking good right now, I think. He went for 38 goals, and he went for Hibs 6, Clydebank 0.
I don't know if you that's looking good at this stage.
No,
all right,
okay.
I thought you were going to say I was looking good because I said 35 and a Motherwell comeback really is all we're looking for now. So. But if you want to go with Killian Sheridan's
Kenny,
6
who
goals,
cares?
then
Let's be honest, hearts are through.
Kenny, I assume you're counting the game tonight and tomorrow.
No, games, Charles. Listen to the T's and C's.
Aye, he's trying to cover himself here.
It wouldn't be much fun, Charles, when we're not on air. Not all here together.
I've got an update for you anyway. I was doing Aberdeen the other week there, and I'm sure, 100% sure, I saw Willie Miller with the foot pump trying to get the Aberdeen juggernaut wheels back up.
I don't know if Willie's with us right now. We'll probably get Willie.
He'll be listening.
Willie, right, fine.
He'll be listening.
Aye, on you go.
I'm hearing, Robbo. By the way, the tyres are pumped up this afternoon because another couple of opportunities for Aberdeen. Morris getting it was Ambrose that got the first opportunity. You're speaking about the midfield a little bit earlier. Palaversa has been pretty good in that midfield area. He's a little bit younger than the other two. He set up both opportunities in the second half for Ambrose, who put it past the post, and then Shayden Morris rattles the post coming in from the right hand side. Looked as though he was picking his spot, showing a little bit of composure that he didn't show earlier, but unfortunately this time it hits the post. So Aberdeen still very much on top, but still only 1-0.
And an Athletic 0, Inverness Cally Thistle 2, Keith Bray with the second goal for Cally Thistle on 49 minutes. What's happening then in your game? John Robertson up there in Dingwall, Livingston with the advantage thanks to that penalty well taken by Muirhead.
Sorry, Kenny, to cut over Robbo. Stuart Kettleman's been yellow carded.
Oh my goodness.
And I think he's really unfair here. Wilson runs through. For me, he's pulled back. The referee doesn't see it, doesn't give it. I can see it. St Johnstone break up the park. Mackenzie Cutton goes down into the challenge, and Blaney's yellow carded. It should have been a foul to Motherwell, so I'm certainly with Stuart on that one, but he's now been yellow carded.
Yeah, that's been a few times this season. Is that an issue at all in front of your players?
I think it is. I mean, you're asking your players to be disciplined, to be cool amidst the maelstrom, and then your manager's getting yellow cards. I mean,
Sometimes it's hard though, Tom.
This was unjustified, Tom, honestly. This was a foul to Motherwell.
I'm not, yeah, I know, but he's got to keep his cool. I mean, injustice has happened on the pitch. He's got to keep his cool there. Because he can't then say to his players, keep his cool if he can't keep his cool.
Tom, that's probably a consequence of his team not playing well. They're behind in the cup. Yeah. There's almost 2,000 Motherwell fans there. When you think Motherwell only get probably 4,500 home fans, and they've got 2,000 away from, that's 50% of your home support. They're watching the game and things aren't going well. You've got to try and show something.
But what good is his actions there and a yellow card done his team?
It means
zero.
Nothing. Listen, I'm with you on that. But I'm just trying to look into his
when you're passionate, you're caught up in the moment of the game. Like, it's easier said than done.
It's every week at the moment, Leanne.
I know, but his team's not doing too well, so he's obviously frustrated. Do you know what I mean? It's at times you feel that you're maybe trying to provoke a reaction from your players as well, but I can see it both sides. But I've been there. Do you know what I mean? Week in, week out, dealing with fourth officials as well is tough when they see a completely different game as you.
Up in the stand?
No, not for the touchline. No, not on the bench.
No.
There you go. You need to keep your temperament. It's all part of it.
I think it's too easy at times, Tom, though, for the fourth officials. Like, my biggest gripe in football now is that the officials are more interested in patrolling the dugouts than actually getting the decisions correct on the pitch, and I find that especially in the women's game week by week, very quick to book the dugouts, and there's a blatant decision that's wrong on the pitch. For me, I would rather they offered full concentration, and the dugouts don't need to get involved, but it's constant errors. Like Craggs has just described, that's an error in that game, and Stuart finds himself defending his players and trying to plead his case. His side are 1-0 down, they're going out the cup
we don't know what he said. You know.
I know, but
I mean, there's defending his players and then there's attacking the official.
Get the decisions right though, and you don't need to
But,
like that's...
but it's easy. It's easy to say, oh, the officials need to get the decisions right. He needs to get his decisions right too. He hasn't got his decisions right today, but it looks.
Kenny,
yes, yeah.
Kenny, another big chance. There was a big chance for Airdrie, to get that third goal, just to put this game to tie. It was just the ball falling to Dylan McDonald round about the penalty spot. He's trying to find the top left-hand corner. I think he should have just went for power, but he skies it over the bars. But still remains the battle now. Airdrie 2.
Out chance you, Derek, because United are just an incredible opportunity. It was Jamie Murphy, good play, good build-up. He's nearer than the penalty spot. He's on the 6-yard line. I have to say the goalkeeper, Robert Watt for Broxburn, did particularly well to block it, but Jamie Murphy should have buried that, and it would have been way beyond Broxburn. Still 2-0 to Ayr United against Broxburn, and still Ayr United having a bit of goalkeeping to do.
Yes, Alan.
Graham Carey cuts inside, left foot shot off the post, keeper's beat. All ends up.
John Robertson.
It's an equaliser for Ross County, and it's coming against another play there. It's a good ball in from Chilvers. It's been knocked back across goal by Lapata, and it's Jordan White who scrambled it in from 4 yards. Ross County made 2 changes in intervals. Don Kimmy changing the personnel and the shape. He's gone to a back 4-4-2. They're back in the game. Ross County 1, Livingston 1.
I'll tell you something, Rob. He's a really reliable, solid player, Jordan White, isn't he?
Yeah, he gets some stick, but that's him at double figures again for the season. And he scores goals, he wins his headers, and by the way, he's a lot quicker than people give him credit for. I'm not saying he's a whippet by any manner of means, but he can get about the pitch, and he does what it says in the tin, to throw the ball up. And by the way, they've needed it today because Livingston have matched Ross County's physicality. But Don Cowie sent his team out a good 5 minutes before the start of the second half, and they were put through a rigorous re-warm up, to say the least. He's made the changes and he's got his team back level. And here's a chance for Stevie May. He's offside. It's 1-1.
Don't know if we've got Willie with us, Kenny, but that's Papagay on the pitch. That'll be a welcome sign. Good few minutes in the legs on his coming back from injury.
I think Willie is here. He got to such a flying start, Willie. And no doubt that's part of the problem, isn't it? They've missed his goals.
Yeah, it was impressive. This season, Kenny, it wasn't particularly impressive. Last season, no. So I think he's still got a lot to prove. Scored that wonder goal against Motherwell, of course.
It's another goal for Ayr United. It's so easy. Broxburn are falling apart here. It's George Oakley down the left-hand side, torn apart at the back at Broxburn, and it's a simple tap in for Jay Henderson, his second of the afternoon. He couldn't miss from there, and it's all over for Broxburn. It'll be Ayr United romping into the next round of this competition. 3-0 ahead at the moment are Ayr.
Ayr United heading for a 5th clean sheet in a row. I'm surprised at that result this afternoon.
Who was it, Leanne? Who was it that predicted a giant kill?
Oh, studs up from Clayton there, I'll tell you. Straight in, Rory.
If I predicted...
Bob and I had a bit of fun with Rory off air, and we had a bit of a joke.
Rory was going Broxburn
must have brought to give Hamilton a game that I said the same thing, so it was going to happen somewhere. I just got the place wrong.
I
was well wrong. And credit to you, because I watched them a couple of weeks ago. They were very good, but at the end of the day, it's the Scottish Cup 4th round. Shocks do happen. I went with that. I was wrong.
On Papagay, it will be very, very interesting to see which version Aberdeen are now getting. Is it the version of the first half of the season, or was it the previous character who wasn't very good at all?
Yeah, but he never played, Tom, let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't get many minutes, and he wasn't given an awful lot of opportunities because they had Miowski scoring goals, and they had Soka as a second striker, they had Duke as a second striker, so...
Yeah, you're right, Craigs. You get one game over in Finland in the European game that I was at, and I mean, it was horrendous conditions, and then he was straight back at the team.
And I think he played right wing a couple of times. He's clearly not a right winger either, he's a centre forward. So from Aberdeen's perspective, let's hope they get the one who started the season on fire.
Right, let's get to Cammy Bell. Cammy's down at Palmerston watching Queen of the South against...
Oh, here's a chance for Motherwell. Hat. Oh, brilliant. Great dummy hat. Oh, great block. Sprangler it is with a block. Just got to get the shot off.
Right, so that was a good chance there.
Was that a block from Sprangler? St Johnstone fans will tell you.
Sprangler with a block.
Sprangler is the guy. He has been one of the few guys in that team who's delivered constantly this season. He's their shining light. The one of the few.
Is that a fair comment, Alan, from what you've seen?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think he's done well. Sprangler, yeah, they like him. They certainly like him. St Johnstone's has been a lot better from St Johnstone. Having watched them a lot this season, this has been one of their best displays. They've dominated this game. Motherwell have to get better. They will get better. They'll get another chance. But you know what? St Johnstone thoroughly deserve to be ahead.
Right, another goal at the National Stadium. Gully Singh.
Yes, it's the visitors that have found their response. Blair Lyons with that amazing run. He's just cut inside the box, evaded a few challenges and planted it in the bottom right-hand corner. It's a fantastic goal here. It's been all Queen's Park in the second half, so they'll be stunned, but we're just about to kick off here. It's currently Queen's Park 1, Montrose 1.
Right, let's check back in with Cammy Bell down at Palmerston. Queen of the South at home to St Mirren. Anything at all by way of a fight back for the home side, Cammy?
No development so far, Kenny. Again, St Mirren have went about their business really good. Stephen Robinson needs to take huge credit because we know how sticky a tie these can be away from home. League One, Queen of South are going okay, but they've just been real high intensity play. The front two and Mandron and Olasanya have caused all sorts of problems for the Queen's defence, and the physicality of St Mirren has really shown in this game. Long throw-in from Penman has caused problems every single time it's come into the box. But yeah, there's no signs of a comeback. I'm pretty sure Stephen Robinson will want that third goal just to kill this game off.
Stephen Craigan.
Yeah, it's 3-0 to the home side, Kenny. Really good play by Molotnikov. Had said he was quiet in the first half. Well, he's got a goal in the second half, and he's now got an assist. Fishes the ball in from the right-hand side. I think it's cleared by Chris McGowan, who's come on as a sub, but it's cleared right into the path of Martin Boyle. His 6th goal in 3 games, slams it home, and it really is one-way traffic. It's attack v defence. Clydebank look dead on their feet. Chris Cadden's charging down the right-hand side. Molotnikov down the left-hand side. Martin Boyle's alive, he's bright, and it's now 3-0 to the home team.
Right, thanks to Stephen Craigan. Let's continue our journey around the grounds. Let's get to Chick's watching Broxburn against Ayr United. A cruise for the championship side.
Yeah, cigars are out, Kenny, no doubt about that. Ayr United all over them. Broxburn are out their depth without a shadow of a doubt. They look weary as well. Ayr United have just had another chance. George Oakley near post. I thought he'd missed it, but he came off a defender. They got a corner kick which is headed in.
John Robertson.
Ross County 1, Livingston 2, and it's the route that they've looked all day. Robbie Muirhead has launched a throw in here. It's missed by all the County defenders. It's dropped him under, and he just turned round and smashed it. Montaro through the legs. It's into the back of the net. It's 62 minutes gone. It's Ross County 1, Livingston 2. Great reaction from the away side.
Yeah, sounds like a decent game there. Also a very good game for you, Canavan. Hamilton Accies at home to Musselburgh Athletic.
Yeah, still very evenly matched. Kenny Accies a bit shell-shocked, I think, by that Musselburgh equaliser, but Musselburgh have just compacted and sat back that little bit, but they've really kept rather resolute. Accies have certainly had the better chances in it since it's went level, but Musselburgh Athletic by no way disgracing themselves, and they have the championship side panicking.
Right, a championship side doing very well indeed at home. Dunfermline home to Stenhousemuir. There for us is Jane Lewis.
Yeah, they're looking pretty comfy, leading this in by 3-0 thanks to that early goal from Lewis McCann in the second half. Stenhousemuir have seen some more of the ball in the second half. Gregor McCann, their captain, probably should have done better with the header from the corner, but to no avail to that one. Ewan O'Reilly also tried his luck with a long-range effort too. But yeah, certainly Dunfermline very, very comfortable, and they have a healthy lead in this one. It looks like they're going through to the next round of the Scottish Cup, but it is the Scottish Cup, so I'm not going to say that too loudly, but they lead this one by 3-0.
Right, so Alan's at McDermott Park. Alan, you're asking the guys in the studio to relook at an incident.
The ball's just skipping through to the keeper into his hands, and Nicholson doesn't
currently
stop.
Currently 2-1 Montrose have just scored.
Right, Gully.
Yeah, it's, I believe it's Blair Lyons again for his seconds. The away side have shocked the home fans here at Hampden. Blair Lyons for a second, just outside the D there to beat the keeper. Is currently Queen's Park 1, Montrose 2.
We're not getting replays in that Motherwell game.
What do you think you saw, Alan? Because we haven't had a replay.
The ball's it's a long ball through, and Nicholson chases it. He was never getting it. Goes into the goalie, and Nicholson just keeps running, wipes the goalie out. The referee gives him a yellow card. The keeper Fisher thankfully back on his feet, but there was no need for it.
Right, let's go back to Derek Ferguson. Derek's watching Dumbarton at home to Airdrie. What's the latest there, Derek? We had a delay in the line, but it certainly wasn't that long a delay, so the line's obviously dropped off there. Let's try Tyrone Smith, Balmoral Stadium, Cope Rangers at home to Forfar. Tyrone.
Yeah, it's still 1-0 to Cove Rangers, courtesy of that Adam Emsley first half goal. I've bemoaned the quality of the first half. Well, I'm pleased to say it's been a whole lot better here in the second half. It's been end to end. Forfar giving a very good account of themselves since the interval. They had a great chance shortly after the restart. A bit of a goalmouth melee. It ended with Josh Skelly sticking a foot out, but he just couldn't get a proper connection on the ball. If he had, you do fancy it would have ended up in the back of the net. At the other end, Declan Glass, he found space 12 yards out, and he fired just wide. You probably feel he should have done a whole lot better.
That was a sitter time. I've seen that.
Just past the hour mark. We've just passed the hour mark here at the Balmoral Stadium, and it's Cove Rangers 1, Forfar 0.
So in the fourth round of the Scottish Cup, Broxman Athletic 0, Ayr United 3, Cove Rangers 1, Forfar Athletic 0, Dumbarton 0, Airdrie 2, Dunfermline Athletic 3, Stenhousemuir 0, Elgin City 0, Aberdeen 1, Hamilton Accies 1, Musselburgh Athletic 1, Hibs 3, Clydebank 0, Queen of the South 0, St Mirren 2, Queen's Park 1, Montrose 2, Ross County 1, Livingston 2, and St Johnstone 1, Motherwell 0. A reminder, we're on the TV from 4:30 on BBC One, and continuing on the radio right through until around about 8 o'clock this evening, kicking off at 5:30, Celtic at home to come on at full commentary to come on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland.
Aberdeen are winning this game, right? And they might win comfortably enough in the end. But their ability to trying to add to this lead and to put together some coherent football is just lamentable.
Well,
their lack of accuracy, their lack of weight, lack of creativity. Oh, it's a tough watch.
I think Willie's still with us. Willie, your thoughts on that?
I think it's a bit hard, Tom, to be perfectly honest. You need to get a little spell in the dugout, by the way, to see if you can handle the pressure down there and see how you would react to some of the nonsense that you've got to deal with from match officials. Leanne, spot on, by the way.
Willie.
Listen up.
Yes.
Yeah.
There he is. He's been sitting silent. He's come right in.
I'm with the finishing. I think they've done all right, Willie.
Wait a minute, just a clarity, Rory, you agree with Willie? And
I do. Out with the final bit, the finish, I think Aberdeen have been pretty good in the second half.
They're playing against, with all due respect, Elgin.
Yeah, that's an easy comment throughout. They've still got to play.
It's a fact. They're playing against Elgin, and they're toiling.
But it's also a fact that they've played pretty well in the second half.
It's 1-0.
Doesn't matter how you play in a cup tie. It doesn't,
Biscuits. It matters how you play.
Through the next round at this moment in time.
It does matter how you play. Why else would you turn up if it doesn't matter how you play?
No winning 12.
You're playing against Elgin and you're making incredibly hard work of this.
As a manager, Tom, it's result first, performance second.
Right, let's put it out there.
You're out of job.
Let's put it out there
very quickly.
Any other pundits agree with Tom?
No.
I'm the only one talking sense here.
Tom, I'd love to back you up, but it seems like a sinking ship there. You've no chance, my friend.
Anyway, Tom, the sixth.
I'm glad.
Here we go, Shane Morris. Oh, what a save! Magnificent save. Morris down the right.
It's a very good save.
This Aberdeen team is electric. It's just chance after chance. Hit the crossbar, hit the post, pulling off. Magnificent save.
What a performance.
What a second half
1-0 against Elgin. Absolutely outstanding. Elgin haven't known what's hit them today, Willie.
Don't bite, Tom. We're only having a little bit of fun.
Right, let's get to...
Can't wait till the peanut hugging starts. We've got to slaughter Scotland and Ireland with the rugby there.
Hey.
Yeah, we'll lose him for a few weeks, I'm sorry to tell you. He's away at the Six Nations. He'll be sadly missed.
I'm away to join people who know what they're talking about.
Do we have a chance this year, Tom?
Yeah. But look, France and Ireland are the favourites.
I've noticed there's a few new guys been involved.
Scotland, terrific. Absolutely terrific squad, great coach. But France and Ireland are
right, that's
outstanding.
plenty. It's a football show. That's plenty.
Fair enough, Alan. We'll draw a line under it there.
Right, Alan, talk football. Is any football breaking out at McDermott Park?
Well, St Johnstone defending slightly deeper, which is encouraging Motherwell to come on, but they've made changes against Slattery's now on Motherwell. They're trying to push players forward.
Oh, now Willie.
Having more of the ball.
Talk to me, Willie Miller. Talk to me.
I know. It's a ball through the middle. I'm talking to you. Doohan comes out. Misunderstanding between him and Devlin. Doohan hits it off of Devlin. Very lucky to see it slide past the post. Yeah, it could have been an equaliser, Tom.
Yep.
Alan, just on your game, I think it's going to be fascinating next week to see if the pressure of the league changes St Johnstone's performance in terms of the actual players on the pitch, with that weight of knowing they're so far behind at the bottom of the league. Do you think the shackle's been off a little bit today? I know they've not been outstanding, but
I honestly think that the players have brought in as well have certainly helped. They've given them a lift.
Oh, big chance for Livingston there. The ball's whipped to the back post, and I'm just trying to see who got the header in there. I think it was Finlayson. He's bulleted the header off the post. and somehow County have managed to scramble it behind. So I've got a big chance for Livingston to kill it.
Yep, they've done very, very well this afternoon. Let's get to Easter Road. For the large travelling support there, Stephen Craigan, have they had a chance at least to get excited about?
They haven't, Kenny. This whole second half has been played in their half. The Hibs back line have been on the halfway line. Jordan Smith, a goal, has been made redundant. He hasn't touched the ball. And they're just trying to get up the pitch. They're trying to build passages of play, but just the sheer pressure and the confidence and the belief that the Hibs players have, they're going and nicking the ball high up. But a big boost for Hibs. Kieran Bowie's back on the pitch.
Yes, Chuck.
Yeah, they're tearing Broxburn apart now. Another goal this afternoon. It's just been nodded over the line. It was a real build up to the back line. Ball whipped over. Just try to see who just scored that goal, but definitely ahead. It might have been. Someone watches, I'll tell you in a second or two, Kenny. But anyway, it's 4-0 to Ayr United, and Broxburn swept away, and it's Ayr United in the draw for the next round.
Yeah, I think it's Mackenzie Chick that's got that goal there, I think. Yeah, but as you say, Scott Brown's side absolutely cruising there.
It was Kenny.
Another chance here, Kenny, for Livingston on the break. Montaro burst down the middle, lowered to Kane. Kane just tried to curl it past the Misa, which he did, but it went about a foot past the post. Livingston had 3 chances in the last 2 minutes to kill this game off.
How many goals are we sitting at now, Kenny?
Right, Tom's
not enough, Alan.
25.
Oh, Rory, you might be on. Well, for the goals,
yeah.
I went way too high, unless it's a late flurry.
Nothing for hitting the bar though, don't you, Kenny?
I've got 40 goals and 4-0 Hibs.
You're on one today, Leanne.
I'm loving that attitude over there.
It's not often that there's another person in the studio out with Tom and Kenny that I can come for, Rory, so apologies. and I'm at the end of the row here, so I just feel like I need to just keep hitting back with something.
Well, we're all getting it. We probably deserve it. You Mark Mackenzie with that 4th goal for Ayr United, that coming in the 65th minute. Willie, in terms of overall the performance, what would you say about it this afternoon? Who have been the positives in terms of the players?
Well, I think it's been positive after maybe 10-15 minutes. I thought, and would you not really expect that? You would expect maybe Elgin to try to make it a very quick start. They did really well, and they created a couple of opportunities, but Aberdeen have controlled the game. They've had numerous chances. Shayden Morris, I think, had 4 opportunities. They've hit the bar 3 times, post or bar. Ambrose was in as well and should have done better on 2 occasions. So there's been plenty of chances created. They haven't shown the composure. It's rolled into the back of the net. Yeah, well, the flag goes up to goal. It is. It's a corner. See, just come to me for goals. The corner from the right-hand side. And I'm not too sure.
Right,
Elgin boys are not happy.
No, they're furious.
We'll get that in the studio. We'll have a look at that. But Aberdeen on easy street there now. Yeah, so Duke with that. So that goal there from Duke. My goodness, he certainly needed it. That's a goal that will seal that match, no doubt at all, for Aberdeen away at Elgin City. Plenty more to bring you on Sports Sound between now and around about 8 o'clock this evening on BBC Radio Scotland. So it's been a really busy day here today. It's also an exciting day, no doubt at all about that. We're at all the games, we've brought you all the action, plenty more to come. Welcome to viewers who have joined us on BBC One. A huge weekend in the Scottish football calendar, 4th round of the Scottish Cup. 11 ties kicked off at 3 o'clock. We're at all of these games, plenty of drama, plenty more to come. John Robertson, a goal in Dingwall.
It's an equaliser for Ross County. I've got to say it looked like Greaves is offside. As the ball put in the channel, the Livingston players are furious with the assistant referee over the far side. Didn't matter. Phillips got there, smashed it across goals, and Ronan Hale has blasted it in. 73 minutes gone, 2-2.
It's a real going over for Broxburn now. George Oakley has scored a 5th for Ayr United. Fine drive, the goalkeeper all over the place, inside the box, right-footed, kept it waist height and drove it beyond the goalkeeper. It's a real going over for Broxburn Athletic. It's Broxburn 0, Ayr United 5.
Right, let's continue our journey around the grounds. Let's get to Elgin City against Aberdeen and get the latest from Willie Miller.
Yeah, good, powerful second half performance from Aberdeen. They 2-0. Here with a Duke header from a corner, but they've had numerous chances in the second half. So the Shayden Morris first half goal struggled a little bit to show the composure in front of goals. Plenty of chances, no doubt about that, playing some slick football, but lacking the real composure in front of the goal, but they've got that second one, so that really looks as though it's going to take them over the line into the next round. But it's been some good, powerful stuff. I think Jimmy Kildare will be happy with it, particularly the second half of the performance, and the intent and the amount of chances that Aberdeen have made. They'll be disappointed that they haven't taken more of them at Elgin. Elgin 0, Aberdeen 2.
Yeah, so no shot likely there. Elgin City 0, Aberdeen 2. Duke with that second goal there on 72 minutes. Red card.
It's another one. This is turning into an absolute massacre. Ayr United now 6-0 ahead. They're all over the place. They're a weary looking side at Broxburn now. The goal has been knocked in, and I have to say that they just don't look interested. Jamie Murphy, incidentally, with the goal was Henderson right down the right hand side. Got it across, he picked out Murphy. He just stopped the left foot, put it in.
Can you hear me, Kenny?
6-0.
I don't know.
Derek Ferguson, we've got your goal. Yep, take it away, Derek. Yeah, we had problems with that line all day long down there at Dumbarton.
Red card.
But Airdrie were 2-0 up away at Dumbarton. Yeah, we're keeping the eye on the goals. A red card at Elgin. Willie Miller.
Yeah, there's been an order of second yellow card for Elgin. Booth has been showed that second yellow card and a red card, so he's been ordered off, and Elgin are now down to 10 men.
2 games in League 2 today. Peterhead now 3-2 up at home to Stirling Albion. Kieran Shanks with that goal. I'm hearing it is now 3-0 for Airdrie away at Dumbarton. Derek Ferguson is there for us. Derek, you predicted plenty of goals there today, and that's certainly come to pass.
Yeah, it's the tie's done and dusted now. Airdrie getting a third of the afternoon, and it was Chris Mock shot from the left-hand side, right foot shot into the back of the net. No more than what Airdrie has deserved. The line is shot, Kenny, here this afternoon, and I think I'm developing.
Right, there has been a goal down at Palmerston. The line has dropped there. Cammy Bell is there for us guys. I've seen it come in. It looks very much, Leanne, like game on down at Palmerston.
It very much does. I'm just counting these goals though, Kenny, because I'm on 35 goals and a Motherwell comeback effectively. So, Alan, Preston, where's the goals at your game?
Well, they're getting more of the pressure. Many goals are they at? Because I said 32 and 1 all.
Right,
here.
I'm going to explain to viewers who have just joined us in BBC One. We've got a wee challenge between our pundits and our listeners today. 11 games kicked off in the 4th round of the Scottish Cup at 3 o'clock. 90 minutes only. We want a combined total of the goals in these games, and also to choose one correct score. It's getting very competitive. A lot of certainly our pundits certainly feel that they're bang in. There's just confirmation. Chris Mockery with that goal in 74 minutes. So the goals are flying in. Dumbarton 0, Airdrie Onions 3. Let's get to Alan. Just give us an update there for people just tuning in on television. St Johnstone ahead against Motherwell. You're talking about the reception though the away side got and the big travelling support there at half time.
Yeah, over 2,000 fans here watching Motherwell losing by 1 goal to now to St Johnstone. St Johnstone, good value for it. They've hit the post. St Johnstone scored the goal in 9 minutes from Mackenzie Kirk after a good save by the keeper. Kirk knocks it in from a yard out. Motherwell have got slightly better in the second half, more of desperation more than anything. Stuart Kettlewell again has made 5 changes. All his subs are now on, but they still lose by 1-0.
Right, was that Derek's line just dropping again there? It sounds like a 4th goal there. We'll bring that to you on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland, of course, also on BBC One today.
Every 4, yeah.
Right, Dumbarton 0, Airdrie 4. So problems with the line there. Let's get to Easter Road. 2,500 Clydebank fans made the journey through there today. Stephen Craigan, but it was very much game over early doors there.
Well, up until half-time, Kenny, it was quite an even game. The fact that Hibs were only 1 ahead, but the second half had just blown them away. I'm now looking at the goals. I think I went 34 goals and 5-0 to Hibs. So I'm now starting to think, right, who's getting a bit closer here? A couple more goals for Hibs, a couple more goals at the other grounds, and I could be bang on the money. But anyway, yeah, Hibs streets ahead. Clydebank, we know they're making their way up the ranks here in the Western Scotland League, trying to get into the Lowland League. They've done themselves proud this afternoon. Done proud to get to this stage, but unfortunately they've met their match this afternoon and it's still 3-0 to Hibs.
Yeah, we're still to check all the entries from our listeners and our viewers today, so we'll get the result from that after 5 o'clock. We're on the television through until 5:15 today. Stay with us on the radio. Full commentary to come from Celtic against Kilmarnock. That one kicks off at 5:30. Cammy Bell, are you back with us at Palmerston? Very much game on down there. No, we've still got problems down there, but that is a big goal. Brennan Dickinson with that goal for Queen of the South. St Mirren looked to be cruising there, Rory Loy. And you guys were talking about the difference in physicality between these two sides.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you need that. If you're going down to a place like Palmerston, in the plastic pitch, it can be tight, it can be windy at this time of year. I think you need physicality in your team, and that's, you know, came to pass in the first half. They've had numerous chances, St Mirren. They really should have put this game out of sight. And all it takes is a goal. It's now 2-1, and Queen of the South will have their tails up and they'll fancy themselves.
Cammy, you back with us?
Yeah, I'm back with you, Kenny.
Talk to us then about that goal for Queens. Was it deserved in the run of play?
Listen, Queens haven't had many attempts on target, Kenny.
Right, that line is gone again. It's one of these days on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland, also on BBC One today. But it's the magic of the Scottish Cup. There has been so much drama right across all the grounds this afternoon. And one of the games of the day, John Robertson, the one you're watching in Dingwall, Ross County against Livingston.
Yep, we've got 10 minutes to go, and it's very difficult to see which way this is going to go just now. Ross County have got back level, as I say, but they've virtually scored with their two main attacks. Livingston have had chances to hit the post. Molson had a header straight at Misa. Stevie May curled one about a foot past the post. He's just had another shot.
That's a
well
goal
saved by Misa here.
Rangers.
So it's hard to say with 10 minutes left which way this is going to go. It's still 2-2.
Goal at Balmoral Stadium, Tyrone Smith.
Yeah, it looks like this game's done and dusted now. It's now 2-0 to Cove Rangers. It was a break up the park. It was Mitch Megginson who had the initial shot. It was very well saved by Mark McCallum, but he could only parry the ball into the path of substitute Miles Gaffney. He had the easiest of tasks to smash it into the net from about 6 yards out to make it Cove Rangers 2, Forfar Athletic 0.
Right, thank you to Tyrone Smith there at the Balmoral Stadium. Amy Canavan is watching Hamilton Accies against Musselburgh Athletic. Tune into Sports Scene tonight, Amy, because we witnessed an absolute wonder goal to open proceedings there.
We sure did, Kenny. An absolutely sensational strike from Stephen Hendry. My jaw is still dropped at New Douglas Park at that. And then it dropped even further, actually, when Musselburgh Athletic equalised less than 5 minutes into the second half. Jamie Todd's head in right in front of the very, very buoyant and terrific travelling support actually Musselburgh have got here. It's still 1-1.
It's another goal. It's another goal. It's become an absolute massacre here for Broxburn. It's 7-0 to Ayr United. The ball is rattled in grand style by Dylan Watson. Just kept it over his head over the ball, drove it again just about waist height beyond the goalkeeper, right across him. It is now Broxburn Athletic 0, Ayr United 7.
Yeah, one championship side cruising there away from home, another championship side very much in control at home. East End Park, Dunfermline home to Stennismuir. There for us, Jane Lewis.
Yeah, still 3-0 to Dunfermline. They start to lose a little bit of the way. Both teams have made a few changes, so maybe that's disrupted the pattern of play a little bit. They'd started to a bit of slack passing come into their play, Kenny, which Stenhousemuir were kind of jumping on. If it was 3-0, if it wasn't 3-0, then the new manager Michael Titzer would maybe been a little bit concerned by that. But Dunfermline have refound their earlier form. Some slick passing at the back when they need to. They're comfy in control. They like to play out from there. Some slick passing in the middle of the park as well, and they're looking really, really good for their 3-0 win against Stenhousemuir. I think it's probably safe to say that they are through to the next round of the Scottish Cup.
We do need to leave let our TV viewers into Rory's shame today.
Yeah, I did.
Come on.
An upset. Well,
We've all been there, mate.
I did hear a rumour that we were giving away a meet and greet with Tom English, and I fancied Ayr massively. So I decided I would go for a Broxburn win. As I've said,
just 7-0.
Well, as I've said, if I'd predicted Musselburgh to get a result at Hamilton, you would have said the same thing. So I picked the wrong fixture. Well done to Ayr United.
That's very poor.
Tom, to be fair, he went to get 7 to Broxburn, so he's still got a wee chance.
I tell you, Broxburn Athletic look as if in the wrong movie here, to be honest with you. You can tell the leagues apart, the levels apart from them. Ayr United are cruising it. I think you must have had a sleepless night, Rory, to be honest with you.
Yeah, poor one. Bad day.
Right, perhaps a sleepless night for Callum Davidson. Let's get to the National Stadium, Queen's Park at home to Montrose, and let's hear from Gilly Singh.
Yes, Kenny, still Queen's Park 1, Montrose 2. The home fans not happy. Queen's Park trying to force a way through to find an equaliser. About 10 minutes left here, but you've got to give credit to Montrose. It's all been about Blair Lyons. There are 2 moments of excellence there to flip this game on its head, but yeah, Queen's Park just currently on the move at the moment there, if they can conjure up something. But yeah, still currently Queen's Park 1, Montrose 2.
11 ties in the 4th round of the Scottish Cup kicked off at 3 o'clock, all covered on BBC Scotland. Broxburn Athletic 0, Ayr United 7, Cove Rangers 2, Forfar Athletic 0, Dumbarton 0, Airdrie 4, Dunfermline Athletic 3, Stenhousemuir 0, Elgin City 0, Aberdeen 2, Hamilton Accies 1, Musselburgh Athletic 1, Hibs 3, Clydebank 0, Queen of the South 1, game on there, St Mirren 2, Queen's Park 1, Montrose 2, Ross County 2, Livingston 2, St Johnstone 1, Motherwell 0, 5:30 start, Celtic at home to Kilmarnock. We're leaving our television viewers at 5:15, but that game kicks off at 5:30. Full commentary to come on BBC Radio Scotland. Let's get to Willie Miller watching Aberdeen up there at Elgin City. Very much cruising in the game there, Willie. But overall, for the Dons fans who've been concerned at performances in recent weeks, what are the positives this afternoon?
Well, the positive is there's a large Aberdeen following, and there's a large Aberdeen following in and around about Elgin as well, because there's a number of Elgin-based Aberdeen supporters that I've spoken to this afternoon. But the positive on the field is that they've upped the tempo after that first 10 minutes where they looked really shaky. They've upped the tempo, they've created opportunities. They've managed to get players on as well, and Big Papa Gay is back. Shaden Morris is looking more like himself. Duke getting a goal too. They've looked pretty solid at the back for the majority of the game. And the manager's been able to bring on some subs as well. Clarkson is on and Shinnie's on. It allows him to take Nielsen off and give him a little bit of a rest.
Were you surprised Shinnie didn't start, Willie? Because I was saying at the start.
I was, yes, yeah. I was, because if you know the history of Darvel, he didn't start against Darvel, exactly. And we know what happened there. So I thought that he would go with his two experienced players. But Palaversa's a good player. Big, strong player, and he played pivotal part in the second half. He was constantly creating opportunities, nice little passes, really positive passes in behind for Duke and Shaden Morris. So it's been a good performance from Aberdeen. This could have been a slippery one for them. We all know that they're on a bad run. The confidence is low. New players coming in, but after that 10 minutes, they've dealt with it particularly well. I know Tom will disagree with me, but
he's primed, Willie. He's primed, ready to go.
I think Jimmy Tillene will be happy with the performance, but less than happy with the chances that haven't been taken, because if the chances had been taken, then we would be looking at more 35 instead of 28 goals that's been scored, because they've had a number of opportunities. And Papa Gay's come on, and I'm still to be convinced, to be perfectly honest with him. He hasn't shown the quality that he has shown in the early part of the season, but he's just back from a long-term injury. And it looks like another goal as well. No, it's not. It's Nicky Devlin having the strike, but again, aiding Glavin making a really good save. So another opportunity being created. It's been a decent afternoon for Jimmy Tillene.
Yeah, no, listen, I think that they have created a number of chances. I know they have. Some of their stuff has looked pretty sloppy. Their finishing has looked poor. But the win is all important. Absolutely, it is. Yeah. Given the run that they were on.
Is that an official apology to Willie?
It's not an apology at all. I don't think Aberdeen have been good at all.
Tom didn't apologise.
I don't think they've been good at all. I think the finish has been terrible. But it's important, it's critical that they get this win and try and get a few more to back it up. I was going to ask, the reason I was at Willie, well, you kind of answered the question. I was going to ask you about Papa Gay. It's his first moments back after an injury, so probably early to judge him, but you're not overly enamoured yet.
I feel like the pitch looks tricky though, Willie. A couple of the balls
it's a wee opportunity for Elgin, no? The substitute on. He did well. That's a really good save. Oliver McDonald that goes down there on his left-hand side. He came on as a substitute. Unfortunately, he's hit it straight at Doohan. It's quite an easy save for him.
They've had a few chances, Willie.
Motherwell piling on the pressure now at McDermott.
Yes,
it's a winner for Hamilton Accies, surely.
Yes, Amy.
Oh, I have no idea who's got the final touch on this one, Kenny. It's a wicked corner whipped in. Musselburgh are on their knees. Somebody has got a fantastic last effort at it anyway. There was a multitude of bodies in there in red and white jerseys, but someone has lashed it beyond Liam McCarthy, and it is devastating for Musselburgh Athletic. Oh my goodness gracious me, they are sinking to their feet here. It looks like Hamilton Accies are booking their spot in the 5th round.
Yeah, so one late on there for Musselburgh Athletic. You were saying, Alan Preston, Motherwell all out for the equaliser at McDermott.
They were, but they're not great from the corner. St Johnstone are right back up the other end. Just looking at it, Kenny, the keeper for St Johnstone's not had a save to make. Not had a save. It's been
off here and down.
Right, John Roberts, we've seen the pictures going to shoot it. Talk us through it.
Muirhead's just chasing down the line and he's shoved Ashworth over, but then he just booted the ball into his back there, and it's kicked off. Noah Kenny's got involved, Montaro's got involved, the referee just tried to cool him down. It'll probably be a couple of yellow cards here. I can't see Muirhead getting a red, but it was just stupid. The foul itself was a stupid one to give because he's on the touchline in front of the dugouts, and then he just boots the ball against Ashworth. He could, you know what I mean? The referee gets a bit flighty here. He could see red, but I don't think so. I mean,
I think we can hear the chant of off in the background there, Robert.
It's because he just booted the ball. It's right in front of all the home fans here in the main stand. I genuinely don't think it's a red. It's certainly a stupid foul, stupid yellow. If he gets sent off for this, David Martindale will be raging. No, it's a yellow card.
But very much getting on up there, Rob. Is it too close to call right now?
Absolutely. I mean, Livingston will be, if it finishes 2-2, Livingston will feel aggrieved because they've had the better chances. There's absolutely no doubt about that.
I don't know if
they've hit the post, and as I said, and Reese's had a couple of saves. But I mean, Ross County have just hung in. They've only really had, I think, 4 shots at goal all day, Ross County. But they're 2-2, so as I said, it could go either way at the moment.
I don't know if we've got Cammy, but Queen of the South as well. St Mirren's goalkeeper's got in his hands, but they're putting St Mirren under a bit of pressure as well, lobbing balls into the box and asking questions of them.
They absolutely are.
Motherwell have got 4 minutes to remain in the cup. 4 minutes to go at McDermott. St Johnstone lead 1-0.
Kenny, that Accies goal's going down as a Sean McGinty goal. Accies announcer announced it as Ollie Shaw, which sort of suggests how busy that box was, but I think it's going to go down to Sean McGinty.
Right, okay.
Another chance for Ayr United. Double chance actually. Che Henderson should have buried it. Came up the goalkeeper. Came back to him. He should have buried it again. It hit the post. So it's just 7-0 at the moment. The chance action in the middle of the park. There's a yellow card here. I think what happened was there were claims from Broxburn. They wanted a penalty kick, and I think there were objections from one of the players, and he's been yellow carded. It's Errol Douglas who gets a yellow card. I just think he objected too much. He was adamant they should have a penalty kick. They went up the other end of Ayr United, and as I said, double chance there. At the end of all that, one booking and still 7-0.
Are we allowed to leave the extra timers? Your game's over.
Goal Aberdeen.
3-0 Aberdeen.
Right, Willie, with us?
Well, it's the third one for Aberdeen. It's Duke again who gets it. He was very close to scoring just a few moments ago in the same position down the left-hand side on his right foot, and this time it was cleared off the line. The first effort, the second effort, he picks his spot, looks up, he's cool, he's calm, and he just curls it into the far post to make it 3-0 here for Aberdeen.
Every single player as well, Kenny, went up to celebrate that goal. The full team.
That right.
Brendan,
A lot of
in front of the fans as well,
Yeah, he's had a tough time, Duke, no doubt at all about that. Derek Ferguson will have problems, technical issues down there at the Rock, but you're with us on the phone. Dumbarton against Airdrie, the update, Derek?
Yeah, and just as I'm looking down, Dumbarton have got one back. It's 5-1 at the moment, Kenny. The 5th one came from Creek Watson. I was trying to get a hold of you, but the line was all over the place. It was a corner kick, and it was just swung to the back post.
It's equaliser here at Hampden.
Yes. So that's Dumbarton got one back, Kenny. I'll let you know as soon as I get up to date and who nodded at home. But a comfortable afternoon. That's the final whistle in fact, Kenny. 5-1 Airdrie.
Good stuff. Means extra time. 2-2.
Right, extra time in Dingwall. 2-2 in that one. Another goal at the National Stadium. Gully Singh.
Yes, Queen's Park 2, Montrose 2. It looks like we're going to extra time here. It's Zach Grudden. It's a little give and go there, just makes his way into the box and lashes it home in the bottom left-hand corner. It's about 2 minutes left here. Currently Queen's Park 2, Montrose 2.
Jordan Smith was just presented with the moment to get an equaliser for Musselburgh. My goodness, he will be having nightmares about this evening. It was a fantastic breakaway from Musselburgh down the right-hand side. It comes into the middle of the box at the penalty spot, and he has space, he has time, and he fluffs his lines. The Musselburgh fans are beginning to make their way for their exit. That was the chance.
Full time East End Road, Kenny.
Full time here at East End Park, Kenny. It's a good win for Dunfermline. They beat Stenhousemuir by 3-0 and they are through to the next round of the Scottish Cup.
Archie Mayer, the goalie for Motherwell, is up. Free kick to Motherwell.
We'll love to see this. There's a certain feature.
He's running away wide, right, as if he's a winger. Get in the middle of the goal, you're 6'4".
Right, Alan, talk us through. This could be a big moment in this game. Motherwell needs something. They've been dreadful today.
They've not done enough. They've just not done enough. St John, and the free kick's flat right into the keeper. This game will be all over. St Johnstone will be through the next round. Motherwell really poor again. Never put the St Johnstone keeper under any pressure at all. St Johnstone scored the goal with Mackenzie Kirk in 9 minutes. Carey's hit the post. Thoroughly deserved to go through. These teams will meet next week in the league. I just wonder if St Johnstone would have rather had the 3 points than going through the next round. They might be able to do both.
That's a good point from Alan Preston there. So we are starting to get the teams joining Hearts in the 5th round of the Scottish Cup. The draw for that will be made on Monday evening after the Dundee derby. So we will bring you that on Sports Sound on Monday evening. We're very much focusing on the 11 games that kicked off at 3 o'clock today.
It's simple, it's so straightforward. Jay Henderson with another goal. That's his hat-trick this afternoon. It's now 8-0 to Ayr United at Broxburn. What an absolute stroll. They are in the wrong film, as I said earlier on, at Broxburn. Ayr United all over them. And we've still got we're now into time added on, in fairness, but it is at the moment Broxburn Athletic 0, Ayr United 8. That's 8.
St Mirren have just wrapped it up. They've scored. It's now
dreadful.
It's now 3-1. However, just up the other end before it, I seen Gogic.
You'll hear the booing here.
And
no wonder, Alan. No wonder.
That's the game over. St Johnstone are through 1-0. The Motherwell fans not happy one bit.
It looked like Gogic hit the Queen of the South player with his forearm and he went down. I think he's got a question for the officials.
Right, we'll come back to Amy Canavan. You get news.
Yes, Kenny, that's full-time whistle has just went. Final kick of the ball. As I was mentioning there, Liam McCarthy, the Musselburgh Athletic goalkeeper, came up for the final long throw. Nathan Evans had a Rory Delap-esque throw through it in, but it cleared away. Ollie Shaw runs up the length of the pitch, obviously has an open goal in, and is completely uncontested and just rolls the ball into the back of the net. It finishes here. Hamilton Accies 3, Musselburgh Athletic 1, but my goodness, if there was going to be a shock for a long time, it looked like it was going to be here from the non-league side, but Hamilton Accies do book their spot in the 5th round of the Scottish.
And Kenny, if this was a video printer, it would be saying Broxburn 0, Ayr United 8. That's E-I-G-H-T. They would spell it out. It's an absolute stroll in the park. Crystal balls are clouded in this studio this afternoon. Albert scored the first one, Jay Henderson the second. Henderson got his second to make it 3-0 with a tap in. Bart McKenzie got the fourth. Oakley, Murphy, watch it, and then Jay Henderson wrapping up his hat-trick at the end of the game. It's 8-0 to Ayr United, and they stride into the next round of the Scottish Cup.
Right, are these boos with healing Alan Preston? Is it from your game there,
Honestly, the Motherwell fans are going crazy. They are having a right go at every single player. The players are going to applaud them for coming. Wonderful support from Motherwell, over 2,000, but they are not happy one bit. And I can see it when I was at Tynecastle a number of weeks ago. They were really poor. Easter Road last week, really poor. Today, again, really poor. Stuart's got a problem on his
Queen's
hands.
Park 2, Montrose 2, going to extra time.
Right, thanks to Gully Singh there, Caelan Boyd-Muntz with that goal that wrapped up full-time. Queen of the South 1, St Mirren 3. And just on Stuart Kettlewell, Tom, we're discussing it, another yellow card for him. Yeah. He is clearly showing the signs of pressure on the touchline.
That was my point earlier on in the radio. Like that, a manager, I know it's difficult, I know it is, but he has to try and keep his composure, and he's not keeping his composure. He's getting yellow cards. He's kind of transmitting this panic to his players, and his players, I know there's a lot of injuries, I know there are mitigating circumstances here, but Motherwell are sliding backwards. They're heading in the wrong direction, and the manager needs to get a hold of this quickly. This behaviour on the touchline, whether he's he's in the right about railing against decisions, he needs to tone it down. It's not doing him or his players any good.
Yeah, Leanne, you were saying you can understand where it's coming from, the pressure that he is under, and some of the decisions you feel he's been the receiving end of.
Yeah, look, I don't agree with the fact that he, week in, week out, it's just going to be a constant theme. And I know it has to a point, but the situation that arose today was clearly a decision that had gone against Motherwell that was blatantly should have gone the other way. So I can understand his frustration. You're looking at a point, you're going out the cup, your team's behind, you're not in a good run of form, you're losing key players week in, week out. Of course the pressure's there, that's the managerial hot seat. There is pressure, and at times we need to understand we're also human beings, so if Stuart's feeling the pressure and his players are not responding, at points I don't think it's a bad thing that your players recognise that you're frustrated. You know,
there's ways to do that, Leanne, though. And if it's consistent over weeks, you know, I agree with you.
Get a yellow card in the touchline, it's hardly like War and Peace. It's
I know, I do appreciate that, but if it happens once or twice, yeah, I think you can make the argument we're all human beings, but it doesn't seem to be learning from it. And I don't agree with you. I don't think it transmits onto the field that, our manager's frustrated, we need to do better. I think there's other ways to do that, more healthier ways to do it.
Right, whatever the situation is, difficult times for Motherwell, no doubt at all about
Great
that.
result for St Johnstone, unbelievable.
Yeah, they needed that. I mean, Seymour Valacarriage going through a hard time, but what I've sensed is the majority of St John's fans are right behind him and what he's trying to do, and they've talked a lot about what he inherited in terms of a squad. As Alan said, can they now kick on in the league because they are adrift at the bottom of the table? So we'll get some full-time reports for you shortly. Before we do that, let's go to the game in Dingwall. You are into extra time there, John Robertson.
Yeah, we're just into the 4th minute extra time here, as I said, and Livingston will find themselves a wee bit lucky not to win this in normal time, but to be fair, Ross County have fought back twice. They've made all 5 substitutions. Livingston have not made one substitution the whole game so far, so unless David Martindale's got a few tricks up his sleeves in extra time here, but we're into the 4th minute. County have just got a corner. It's 2-2.
Right, let's get to